The Democrats don't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. Republicans can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. A bitch ass nigga can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. You coon ass niggas can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. Listen here, this is a fact of life. I be rapping like Nat Turner came back to life. Grab Donald Trump by the pussy, he ain't acting right. I never run from a conflict, I be glad to fight. It's a very cold world that we live in. Somebody please tell Elizabeth you're not an Indian. You just trying to con them people to get the benefit. Just another immigrant, stealing from the Indians. That's some punk ass shit and that's too lame. Now we finna step over to Andrew Yang. And you a sucker, you can never speak for black folks. Fake ass candidates, trying to get the black vote. The Democrats don't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. Republicans can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. A bitch ass nigga can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. You coon ass niggas can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. You know your boy be high off sativa. Kamala wasn't popping, so we said bye Felicia. She ain't had a right policy. We ain't trying to meet her. Y'all can take Biden too. Bye. We don't need her. We don't need Roland Martin or that coon Al Sharpton. Didn't need Cory Booker from the start, man. I don't fuck with police and no snitch. You know I'm coming with the heat when I spit it. The Democrats don't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. Republicans can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. A bitch ass nigga can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. You coon ass niggas can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. If you ever go to court and this is your luck, try not to get fucked by Benjamin Crump. I know it's hard. You and all go is hard. But who the fuck is Amy Cloak? Put her picture up on the bullseye and start throwing darts. People cut her organs out her bodies, that's a stolen heart. They can't save us from the flood like Noah's Ark. Black lives always matter, we finna go for ours. So then we savages, we don't need to pot the piss. Mike Bloomberg can suck dick with that stop and frisk, bitch. You ain't speaking for us, we don't know you. Bernie Sanders, they get your funky ass on too. The Democrats don't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. Republicans can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. A bitch ass nigga can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me. You coon ass niggas can't speak for me. Speak for me. Speak for me.
I'm talking about shout it going crazy. People going crazy in them motherfuckers. Run that shit back, man.
But it's nothing. Nothing. Got a woman on the bed. Man made the car. Man made the train to carry the heavy load. Man made the electric light to take us out of the dark. Man made the boat for the water like the seven omega. Man thinks about a little bit of baby girl and a baby boy. And man makes them happy because man makes them joy. But after man make everything we can, do you know that man makes money? To buy from other men. This is a man's world.
Greetings, Black family. Greetings. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Frontline Black News. I am your host, Shane Kruma. As you can see, I got my new, let me take this down. Sorry, y'all. Kind of running late. Alright. As y'all can see, I got my Kendrick Lamar up, Not Like Us. That's the FBA hashtag, Freeman hashtag for the whole summer, y'all. So shout out to Kendrick. And this is Frontline Black News. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'm your host, Shane Kruma. We should be joined with our other host, Lady Che. And unfortunately, our West Coast correspondent, Shabaka Sankori, will not be joining us. She is on the road. So I wish him safe travels. And on this season 4, episode 7, part 1 of the Frontline Black News, we'll be discussing several things. The first thing is the tangibles. It's the year and the decade of tangibles. So continue to master the tangible for your vote, Black family. We're all the way up to 2,100. We told you for the past 4 years that we've been in operation as a program, Frontline Black News. Prior, Mile High News, Unity, Community News. We've been doing this for a good 5 years now. We've been telling you to demand something tangible for your vote. So we've been pushing that hashtag heavy, and we're going to continue to do it. So this is the year and the decade of tangibles. So any politician that's seeking your vote, demand something tangible for your vote. So we got the tangibles 2024, all the way up to 2,100. Then we got the DemoKKKrats with a triple K. Push a monument to Tulsa race massacre, not reparations. Now, we've covered this extensively on Frontline Black News and the Revolutionary Agenda over the years. And the DemoKKKrats just did not get the memo that we're not on symbolism no more. Symbolism is not going to work, DemoKKKrats or Republicans. That is not how you get the black vote in 2024. So we got to show them better than we can tell them, because they think that we're playing, that this is a game, and no, we're dead serious. So then we got Biden and the DemoKKKrats are feeling black men will not show up for them in November. Well, why are you surprised if we do show up or not? You told us that you was going to have our back, or rather you told black women you was going to have their back like they had yours, and they were the backbone of the Democratic Party. So to hell with black men. So of course you're not going to get our vote. And you lied blatantly to our faces. And then told us, had the audacity to tell us that we wasn't black if we didn't vote for your Jim Crow, sleepy Jim Crow. So get the pins wearing ass. So we're gonna get to that. Then we got Biden disrespects the legacy of Medgar Evers by posthumously awarding him Medal of Freedom. Then we got Roly Poly Martin. Can't believe black women don't love Joe Biden. Well, black women are going to get on code with what black men are doing. And if black men are saying the hell with the Democrats, sisters is going to get on code eventually, and they have been, and get on one accord with that. So why are you surprised, Roly Poly? We already told you we're going to put you out of business. And all the rest of you other Democratic shields like Jeff Fart and Joyless Reed and Timothy Cross and Andrew Bussy Gillum, Native Pods, whatever, the root, the rot, all that shit. We putting all this shit out of business this decade, this year. So then we got Texas Governor Greg Abbott, good old Governor Bud. He is just recently pardoned a murderer, a white supremacist, suspected white supremacist, who killed a Black Lives Matter protester. The Black Lives Matter protester, ironically, was white, but he was on the side with the blacks, and he's married to a white black woman. Excuse me. He had a black spouse or girlfriend. So that's definitely off code for white supremacy. So they have to make an example of him, and Governor Bud is going to pardon the suspected white supremacist who originally was sentenced for murder to a much lesser sentence, or he's free. He's going to be free. So he gets his freedom. And the rest of our political prisoners continue to remain political prisoners in a greater state of confinement due to the color of their skin. But we're supposed to be in a post-racial society. Then we got, last but certainly not least, we got Congress explodes as Democratic shield herself, Jasmine Crockett, a black woman, who's a House representative, claps back at the Marjorie Taylor Greens and gives an offensive comment. She basically, in all so many words, told her she was funny built and she was built like a man. So we're gonna go over that, and that's gonna be the topics for tonight. So thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for tapping in. Make sure y'all like and subscribe to all of our platforms. Frontline Black News, the Revolutionary Agenda, and Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced. Let me get this copyright up because they just gave us back the channel, y'all. We're back on our regular channel, Frontline Black News. They had us in the doghouse for the jabby jab from years back, y'all. They still coming back at us behind that shit. So I disputed it as usual. And they just rewarded us back the page. So welcome back to our viewers. We got our viewers back from our regular page. Yep. I see y'all. Welcome back. All right, so I'm gonna move us to the first topic, and that is the tangibles. But let me mute this TV because I got some background noise. All right, so we got tangibles, y'all. It's the year and a decade of tangibles. So continue to mass up the tangible for your vote, going all the way up to 2100. So, my brother Tariq Nasheed, back in 2019, came up with the hashtag Tangibles2020. And in it, he was detailing everything that we, meaning the foundation of Black Americans, the Citizen American South Slavery Freedmen, Native Black Americans originally, we're going to demand from the political system, two-party system. So, shout out to Dr. Claude Anderson for that. So, the 2020 presidential elections are coming up, and foundational Black Americans are going to reject the 50-year-old malign neglect policy that has been implemented by the political system. This malign neglect, which is more like belligerent, purposeful neglect policy, mandates that Black Americans should be ignored and only mentioned in vague and non-specific terms. Look, the foundational Black Americans and the groups of minorities, immigrants, people of color, etc., BIPOC, whatever the broad ambiguous language they like to use to describe us and lump us in, has only hindered the progress of Black Americans as a group while providing tangible benefits for other groups. In this election cycle, meaning the 2024 election cycle, Black Americans are going to insist that our needs are specifically met by politicians who are seeking our vote. Foundational Black Americans want tangible benefits specifically for us. We do not want trickle-down, secondary benefits that are provided for every group. Every group has not been systematically marginalized and disenfranchised in every area of society as foundational Black Americans. So we refuse to be lumped in with groups who often assist in the exploitation and disenfranchisement of Black Americans. So politicians must offer tangibles, specifically the foundational Black Americans, or we simply will not vote for them. Be sure to spread this message far and wide on social media using the hashtag Tangibles2020. And we've been doing that for the past 4 years. So it's Tangibles 2024, all the way up to 2100. Black family, continue to mass up the tangible for your vote. The days are over of these politricians taking our votes for granted. And support those that support you. And on that note, let me drop this because I think it's a game and it's not. We're really serious about it. Support me for city council, state house, Colorado State House, District 8. I'm the only black first candidate on the black ballot, period. The only black candidate on the ballot, period. So there's that. And Cornel West is an option for president here in the state of Colorado. We also were able to get him on the ballot. You're welcome, Colorado. Now, moving along. The Democrats are in desperation mode, like we've been saying, for over a decade plus. Yeah, because I have not been a Democrat since Sambo's second term in office. So I've been on code with this much longer than most. But yeah, I'm really an independent, like no question about it. So with that being said, I'm black first. And unfortunately, in the state of Colorado, we don't have our own black parties. But I am the junior chairman of the Unity Party here for the state of Colorado. So I do have that. Now, the Democrats, they aren't getting the memo. They think fat meat ain't greasy. But we got to show them it very much is. And they want to honor those that lost their lives, descendants of their descendants. They want to honor them with a monument for the Tulsa Massacre, the Tulsa Race Massacre in 1921, where suspected white supremacists in cohesion with the police, sheriff's department, and the United States military, the Army, raised over siege of black towns, black businesses, and wiped them completely out with gunfire and bombs of sticks of TNT that were dropped on Tulsa, Oklahoma, Black Wall Street district. So instead of reparations, they don't want to cut the check, y'all. Now, if you've been following us or just following us in general, you know that the sole survivors that are still living, the remaining survivors, which are all in their hundreds, in their mid-hundreds now. The oldest one is 109. The next oldest is 105. And the youngest was a resident of Denver, Colorado for a number of years and passed during the pandemic. And rest in power to him. Brother John, I believe his name was John or Armstrong, Brother Armstrong. He was 102. And he stayed in the Capitol Towers. And I had went there one time when I was running for mayor, a community potluck, and he was there. And that was the last memory of him and Bruce Gibson Jr. That was the last time that I seen him as well. He passed away that same weekend, so rest in power to him. He supported my campaign, despite of what those haters like to say at the Jeff Fart crew and others. But yeah, getting back to this. So Professor Black Truth is going to give us an update on this desperation move from the Democrats. They think the symbolism is going to get it in 2024 for the black vote, and those days are long over. You're not going to just continue to take our votes for granted, Democrats. And we've already told you this is going to be a marathon, not a sprint, so we're preparing ourselves to sit it out several election cycles. Just so y'all get the hint, we are not playing with you. Either cut the check or we're voting the couch. So shout out to Professor Blacc Truth. I'm listening from Professor Blacc Truth.
Family and fellow soldiers.
Past 10 plus years now. Yeah, at least 10 years. Yeah. Since about 2013. Yeah. 10, 12, something like that. Yeah, about 12 years now. 11, 12 years now, and everything he said is coming to fruition. So, most can say whatever they want about Professor Blacc Truth, but they can't tell you he is not telling you the truth. And what he's saying is not happening right now, and everything that he said for the past 15 years hasn't come into fruition. So I'm going to let the good professor give us an update on the DemoKKKrats push monument to Tulsa race massacre, not reparations.
I'm the professor, and this is the moment of truth. Just in time for Juneteenth, the Democratic-controlled Senate is floating yet another bit of meaningless message legislation that's meant to get the attention of low-information voters. And just like the aforementioned Juneteenth, this proposed legislation also does absolutely nothing tangible for Black people, though it is meant to get us into supporting it because these white liberals hope it's going to make us feel good, and hopefully that temporary sugar rush of good feelings will translate into us actually wanting to vote for Joe Biden in November. This latest empty gesture originates with Senator Cory Booker. He's introduced a bill that would give the site of the Tulsa Race Massacre, that is Greenwood, Oklahoma, national monument status. Now, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with doing it, but the question is, why this and why now? Nothing happens in a vacuum under white supremacy, and Cory Booker has been a willing bootlick for the white powers that be. And this gesture is particularly cynical coming from the U.S. government. After all, the Tulsa Race Massacre was one of numerous white mob genocides that took place across the country, and the U.S. government did absolutely nothing to punish any of those white mobs back then or in the present. The U.S. government was on the side of those mobs too. And this legislation does nothing more than to say, hey, here's where we committed one of our countless local genocides against Black people in America. That's what it actually is. It's a celebration in the eyes of these white supremacists. Now, the white media is saying that this bill has bipartisan support. Well, so did the Juneteenth bill, because both major parties recognize that this doesn't challenge white supremacy any more than a Juneteenth holiday did. This is what's going on here. Democrats and Republicans can't agree on what day of the week it is, and yet there's bipartisan support for these do-nothing gestures. But what I find to be particularly galling is that the white media makes sure to mention that there were these survivors of the Tulsa Race Massacre who had actually testified before Congress. One of those individuals has since died, and these people are all over 100 years old. None of them demanded a national monument when they went before Congress. Did you hear them talking about that? Saying we want for our old neighborhood to be declared a national monument. They weren't talking about that. They went before Congress for one thing and one thing only: reparations. That's what they demanded. That's what they said the U.S. government has to do. Give them the reparations that they are due. Predictably, none of the white media pieces that talked about this mentioned that fact. Oh, they mentioned that the survivors had testified before Congress, but they did not mention the fact that those survivors demanded reparations. They didn't mention that at all. That was the entire reason that they were there. And the courts have illegally denied them justice. That wasn't mentioned either, by the way. If Democrats really wanted to do something regarding the Tulsa Race Massacre, then they should do what the survivors demanded, and that is to give the survivors and their family members reparations. That's what's called for here. But this is the Democrats' game. It's the Republicans as well. Both political parties on the exact same sheet of music when it comes to Black people, and there's a lot of Black folks silly enough to fall for it. That's why I make it a point to remind you of Biden's mountain of broken political promises. That's why we have to remain persistent. We can't allow ourselves to forget or to become apathetic. All these putrid attempts to give us do-nothing gestures should be rejected across the board. National holidays or national monuments are not reparations. Only money is reparations, and they're not offering that. About the only possible value that this gesture might have, at least in the abstract, is to put a thumb in the eye of the white right, at least some of them, and all of their demands to put back up Confederate monuments. But if that's the case, if the Democrats are really looking to basically give the Republican Party a black eye, then Democrats should have absolutely no problem going on a legislative rampage to block and reverse all of these red states who have passed laws to criminalize history and to criminalize Black people just exercising their basic rights. all of this let's make these states into free fire zones for blatant anti-Black violence and blatant anti-Black hostility. The Democrats should be on a jihad to go ahead and reverse that stuff, block those laws, and to do what they should have done decades ago, and that is to pass laws that punish all of this white supremacist culture, make the Confederate flag and any attempts to glorify it a civil offense. You don't see anywhere in Germany where you can put up the Nazi flag, and that's for a reason. When you've had an insurrection take place, when a rebellion has taken place, you don't sit there and glorify the iconography of the rebels. But of course, the United States is unique in this regard. That's because even those in the North accept the Confederate flag because they understand that it's a symbol of blatant, violent white supremacy, which they're fine with. The Tulsa Race Massacre was nothing more than part of a never-ending continuity of anti-Black violence that continues to this day. Without actually doing what Black people have demanded, without actually putting tangible benefits on the table for those of us who have suffered racism in this country and continue to, without making sure that there's substantive measures in place to punish those who carry out anti-Black violence, all of this message legislation is absolutely meaningless. It's nothing more than to misuse and abuse the tragedies that this country has enacted against Black people for the sake of manipulating us into voting against our own interests. It is not in our interest to vote for nothing. It is not in our interest to have some white liberals on Capitol Hill and their Black bootlicks telling us that we need to be voting for some politician who, by the way, actually praised the Confederacy. Joe Biden praised the Confederacy. He bragged about how during the Civil War, the state of Delaware that he represented was allied with the Confederacy. And of course, Joe Biden was mentored by those unreconstructed Confederates from down south. He was proud of that. And this is the guy that we're supposed to be expecting any sort of recognition of our basic humanity from? Don't dream. Rather than putting up yet another gesture of observation, instead there should be reparations and an anti-Black hate crime law. But Cory Booker is not proposing any of that, and neither are any of the other do-nothing Black members of Congress. It's not enough simply to say, well, we want to make it a national monument so people never forget. If you're not making sure that the victims of this race massacre and their descendants are compensated, because the entire reason that these massacres happened was because of economic jealousy by the poor white folks who live in those areas who could not stand to see Black people who were making their way economically. It reminded them that white supremacy had failed to give them the goodies, giveaways, and guarantees of exclusive prosperity for themselves. That's the actual tangible benefits the white supremacy offers. But of course, because it's white supremacy, it has to give complete and thorough benefits for one group at the expense of Black people. Slavery wasn't about national monuments. Slavery was about money. And these race massacres had nothing to do with some white woman claiming that she got raped. It had everything to do with the poor whites who were looking at their Black neighbors' prosperity and understanding these Black folks worked for what they had. And they were able to get their wealth out of the mud. They didn't have it handed to them because of white privilege, and they just couldn't stand it. If you want to make that area into a national monument, that's fine. But this gesture should be a launch pad for something substantive, reparations and an anti-Black hate crime law, just for starters. Now, there's already an Asian hate crime law in the books, and all it took was a couple of college protests, and now there's all this hysteria about having an anti-Semitism bill, and when you look at that bit of proposed legislation, you see that all it is about is to protect Israel from being criticized. The United States is concerned about illegal aliens, the United States is concerned about Israel, but it's not concerned about Black Americans, and that's why we should not be concerned about this country or its leadership. See, there was also bipartisan support for that Asian hate crime law too. And naturally, there's going to be across-the-board bipartisan support for anything that Israel is demanding. They're bending over backwards, twisting themselves into knots to make sure that Benjamin Netanyahu's little fifis aren't hurt. But there's absolutely nothing being done to protect Black people from being killed. Be on the watch out for the predictable parade of bootlicking Negroes, civil rights retreads, and HBU suck-ups who are going to go into fake orgasms about this proposed legislation, and they're going to claim that Black people now have to vote for Biden, why he's the only thing standing between Black people and another race massacre. Well, my answer to this canard is simply this. What did Biden do about the last one? Good day, and be one. I'd like to take a moment to mention some of our contributors. Russell Richardson, Barrington Mack, Sa, Brandon Cherry, and Glenda Tice. Salute to them and thank you to everyone for listening, liking, and sharing this message. Black empowerment only exists because of you.
No, he's been saying that for 15 years. It does only exist because of you. Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly with everything the professor said. And that goddamn Biden, his damn Democrats think the symbolism won't get it. No. Mm-mm. And exactly as the professor ended with, what did you do about the last one? It came to a whole lawsuit, y'all. Biden's DOJ drugged their feet on this for a number of years. It took to pulling up and showing up these politicians' houses. It was pull up summer throughout the C-19. And then they come with this, oh, well, we're going to sue them. And then the judge, the whole court case, the whole court trial was rigged from beginning to end. It was a lot of faulty stuff that went down with that. And in the process, we lost one of the survivors that was on the original claim. So, and the oldest is 109. She ain't got that much, unfortunately, she ain't got that much time left, y'all. So, we need to get justice for them. And all of those, like my godmother, who was a direct descendant of Tulsa, Greenwood District, where Shabaka was last summer. So yeah, we definitely hope they get justice. We want them to get justice, reparations, former cash payments, and to be compensated for all of that and then some. And it's still going on, no matter what they tell you, Black family. It's still going on, and there was so many more than Tulsa. Tulsa was just one of many that were burned to the ground by these poor whites, the lynch mob, the police, the sheriff's department, and your government, and the military as well. We're all in cahoots with it. So it's been systematic destruction of Black communities for centuries now. And we're old and we need to be compensated for all of that. So moving along. Oh, and that amount is now $800 trillion for past, present, and future atrocities this United States government, this corporation continues to put our people through in 2024. And it's going to keep gaining into, we're almost at a gazillion. It was 906 trillion. But at the time, that was going to be really too hard for our people to wrap their brains around. So we started with 100 trillion. And now we are at 800 trillion. Almost a gazillion. That is old. So keep throwing that in all of these politicking spaces every chance that you get, Black family. And support me for House District 8 for State of Colorado House District. Now, so the Democrats are really scared now. They are really grasping for straws now. Because the Black men are not coming out in support of them. We have made it very clear we are not supporting the Democrats. So they haven't been supporting us. They haven't done nothing specifically for us. Black people in general, but specifically for us. They don't give a damn. They don't want no mention of Black men. Until now, the only time they mention us is when they want to vote. And now it's election season, so now they want to vote. So now they mentioning us. And they're surprised that we're not showing up for them in November. So that's what I'm going to play next. So shout out to... Damn, I forgot this one. Shout out to... Phil Scott, Uncle Phil, going to give us the update on that.
Well, tonight on the podcast, ladies and gentlemen, as we get closer and closer to the election, because this election is going to come very fast, ladies and gentlemen. You know how the summer months go, it just breezes right by. You know this, right? As we just go through those summer months, Biden is starting to feel the pressure, and the pressure is coming from black men. The Democrats are worried about black men because now they need black men. Let's call it what it is. They need black men. The Democrats cannot win an election unless 80% of the black vote go to the Democrat candidate. They can't win it whatsoever. But I want you to go ahead on and watch this just short clip real quick. And because Biden is worried, maybe he should be bringing something to the table for the brothers.
Helped swing Georgia for Joe Biden in 2020, but their support appears to be softening.
I mean, I guess it's the best we got.
I think my vote's the same, but it's less enthusiastic.
We're actually letting people know about the election coming up.
And grassroots organizers are seeing signs black men are slow to return to his fold.
That young black men are more likely to say that they will vote for Trump. But what I am most concerned about this year is that about 30% was still undecided at the time of our poll.
What Biden really needs to be concerned about is the couch.
Right.
Because I personally believe that the couch will actually win the election a lot more than black men voting for Trump. Because I'm realistic. And I understand there are black people would rather choose the couch and vote the couch than vote for Trump. Then you have some black men say, man, I'm voting for Trump. And usually those men are businessmen or men who make a higher income. So, taxes is more their issue. They worry about investments. They worry about capital gains tax. They worry about certain things like that, right? So they may lean more that way. But the couch is going to be more so your problem in the 2024 election. Because what are you offering black men in particular to come out and vote for you? Matter of fact, what are you offering black women? You're not offering them anything, in my opinion. You just expect black women to show up for you for no reason. And what y'all not understanding, and there are black women that's going to either choose the couch or some vote for Trump too. And there's some black people that may vote third party because they want to vote for now one of them, but they still want to show up and vote anyway. Now, I always say that make sure you register to vote. Make sure you get out and vote for whoever you want to vote for, or you want to vote for the couch. That's fine too. But I want them to quantify all the votes, who's registered and who didn't vote and who voted. I always like those numbers so we can go on and really look at, hey, if the majority of our people chose the couch, I want to report on that. If the majority of our people voted for Democrats, Republicans, I want to vote on that too. I want to speak on that too. I also want to speak on, if they voted third party. I like those numbers. That's why I tell people it's very, very important to have those numbers, because the Biden administration prioritized everybody else except black people, but definitely he didn't prioritize black men. You understand? So now Biden wants to come out saying that he wants to do things for black people, black men in particular. He wants to offer things. Bro, you had all these years to offer things. Why you want to offer something with 2 minutes left to go in the game? You understand? It seems fake, because when you first got in office, you didn't prioritize the black people that got you in the office, because they so to get him out. The thing you went done is protect the agent who did not stand in lines to vote for you. More black people voted for you, Joe Biden, because black people black communities back. You didn't have it, Joe Biden. It's just really what it is. You didn't. And now you want to show up talking about I'm here for the black community, for black men. No, sir. Unless you buy reparations, that's the only way that I would even vote for you at this point. If you did reparations in the form of cash payments, or say, okay, I'll vote Biden myself. I'll go vote for you, right? You don't even talk to black men. You don't even go sit down with black people in the media. And when I say the media, I'm talking about black media. I'm not talking about Boulay Martin either. He's not black media. That's like going to talk to CBS, NBC, ABC, that kind of take. And we know no matter what you say, Boulay Martin is going to accept it. You don't want nobody to ask you questions. You don't want nobody to challenge you about what's going to happen for black men. Because at least if somebody can ask you some real questions about black men, maybe they'll think about it if you had the right response. But as of right now, black men are not a priority for the Democrat Party. You prioritize men who aren't even citizens of this country that come across the border. You prioritize the women of other countries who ain't citizens when they come across the border. Your cities that's controlled by the Democrats have passed so much resources, especially my brothers and sisters in Chicago. They're suffering every day in Chicago. And look at all the money that Governor Pritzker and Brandon Johnson spent on the migrants. But they don't dare spend no money on black people in Chicago.
Johnson, for example.
All that money you spent on them, that could have been reparations you could have been giving to black Americans. At least black Americans would have took money and put it into Chicago, because they would either grew their businesses, start schools. That did a lot in Chicago with that money and put it back into the economy. These people that come over, they draining resources because they can't legally work, a lot of them. Black Americans can legally work. If you would actually pay reparations to black Americans, the economy in Chicago, it will stimulate that. It will stimulate things in Illinois. But no, you rather go throw money in the trash. That's what you did. Throw money in the trash, then make sure black Americans are taken care of about what happened to us in slavery. You understand? That's why black folks ain't voting for you like that. You're not papering up other foreign countries. Everybody getting a bag off of this country while Americans are suffering. You're not doing nothing about the rent. You're not doing nothing about inflation. People can't buy homes no more, like talking about. Rent, you got to make 3 times the rent. Nobody should have to be making no 3 times the freaking rent.
Right.
That's not even realistic. It's not. So why should black men come out and vote for Biden? Why? Why should we, as black men, including myself, why should we come out and vote Biden when he haven't offered nothing that black men are looking for? Because every time I talk to black men who are business owners, black men who got everyday jobs, they need things, and you're not offering it. Black men can't put LGBT on the dinner table. Black men can't put abortion to pay that light bill. Black men can't take immigration and put that on their children's backs or their own backs.
Black news.
You understand?
Got our channel back finally.
Black men can't take Ukraine and use that to pay a mortgage or rent. You're prioritizing everything else except what black men need in this country to take care of our children and etc. So why should we vote for you? You're not offering anything.
Right.
You're not. You're not even saying, "Hey, black men, I'm gonna instruct the SBA to just start giving y'all some low interest loans to help y'all businesses. You know, up to $100,000, $200,000, whatever you need. All that you need to submit is 2 years tax return. If you got employees, you know, submit your payroll information so we see how many employees you got. So we gonna give you some paper based on how much employees you got. That sort of thing. Like, it's things that Biden could do right now to help black men, especially black men in business. He can do it without Congress, but he don't. You want to help black people as a whole? FHA, lower that down payment to 1%. That'll help black people. That's things that Biden can do right now. Get rid of that debt to income ratio crap and judge it off of rental payment history. Well, you got too much debt to income, but yet this person been paying their rent and never missed a payment for the past 3 years. They can afford to pay it. Everybody got debt. The U.S. government got debt. You can't judge somebody that have no debt to freaking income ratio when this country is trillions of dollars in debt. Please. You got more requirements on a citizen to get a home than the U.S. government? Come on now. I mean, American people need to start speaking up about that. You judging us in a way you're not even judging our own government. But so why should black men vote for you? Why? It don't even make sense, right? But let's see what he offer. Let's see. As of right now, I don't see a reason for black men to vote for Biden whatsoever. And Trump trying to say, oh, he's a racist, he's a this. You a racist. Right. Democrats are racist.
Right.
Remember Kathy Hochul said that black children in the Bronx don't know what computer mean? Well, those black children got black parents, black men as their fathers. So you're trying to say we're dumb, we didn't teach our kids what a computer meant? You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of mess y'all got going on with the Democrats. So y'all just as racist. And no, we know. So you can't use racism and Trump to scare black men about that. You better try another angle. You're gonna try to scare black men about Trump.
Right. That's right, Uncle Phil.
Okay, what's going on, everybody? We are.
Yeah, shout out to Uncle Phil. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, you Democrats, you're gonna have to work hard to get the black vote this time around. Got the goddamn check. Anti-black hate crime law bill passed into law. The tax-free exemption for the next 100 years. You want the black vote. So in the qualified immunity, federally, statewide, and locally. Ooh. So Biden and the Democrats are continuing their disrespect of black men and black people in general. Who is this? Is this Lady J? Oh, no, it's Jay Jizzle. Big one salute. Jay, can you hear me?
B1, what's up, brother Shay?
Shit, just getting through these topics. Did you just tap in? Have you been keeping up, or did you just tap in? Jay Dizzle. Okay, I'm having a hard time hearing.
What's up? Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
What's up?
Going in and out. Have you been keeping up?
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Have you been keeping up with the topics? I hear my feedback. Are you on Bluetooth or I got bad connection?
Hold on, let me try it like this. Hey, if you say something, I can't hear you, fam.
Okay, can you hear me now? Jay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So I just finished up with the Democrats. The Democrats, they are in desperation mode, to say the least.
Yeah.
And,
you coming through? You come back in, man.
Oh, okay. All right, so they are surprised black men aren't going to show up for them in November. So I just went over that, and now I'm about to move into this Medgar Abbott situation.
Unleash the power of knowledge and connect with the heartbeat of the African diaspora. Download our African Diaspora News Channel app now on Google Play and Apple App Store. Stay informed with authentic and diverse perspectives, breaking news, and cultural insights. Immerse yourself in a community that celebrates unity, resilience, and progress. Experience the vibrancy of the diaspora at your fingertips. Don't miss out. Empower your perspective today. Search African Diaspora News Channel and join the conversation.
Recently, 18 people received the Presidential Medal of Freedom Award, and this is why they received it. The Presidential Medal of Freedom is the nation's highest civilian honor presented to individuals who have made exemplary contributions to the prosperity, values, or security of the United States, world peace, or other significant societal, public, or private endeavors. Okay, so some of those people that got that award was that of Al Gore, James Clyburn, which I'm not even really for sure why he got it, but this is the one that really chapped my hide. Check it out. Medgar Evers died 1963, fought for his country in World War II, and returned home to lead the fight against segregation in Mississippi.
Hey, Jay, can you
after
hear
he
me
was
now?
murdered at his home at the age of 37. His
Good.
wife, Merle, continued to fight to seek justice and equality in his name. And that.
All right, so when you hopped on, I had just finished up with the DemoKKKrats in desperation mode. They're talking about they don't know if black men, meaning us, are going to show up for them in November. So they don't know what they're going to do. And now I'm talking about biting, disrespecting the legacy of Medgar Evers by posthumously awarding him Medal of Freedom.
Yeah, that's cat. But let's get back to that. Let's get back to the first thing you said.
Okay, go ahead. What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's like at this point they can't deny the fact, because we've been known as black men, as we both are black men, and we both are tapped in and have and are part of the new black media,
right,
and the streets. So we already knew what it was for over a year now. We've been doing this
for the past
it's
4
now
years.
finally, yeah, for real though. So it's like now they have to admit it because they're getting close to crunch time. You know what I mean? It's only like what, November is the election?
4 months.
Yeah, so like, they're like at this point they know they're gonna lose it. They have to try to pander now, but what they don't understand is the symbolic shit, like the Tulsa, Oklahoma bullshit. That ain't enough, man.
Yeah,
we want some tangibles. Like at this point, you're not giving us a reason to vote. They're not giving us a reason to vote. So they try to ignore that it was black men. They try to just appeal to our women because they knew that it's easier to get the women and the old niggas to just jump in line with the Democratic Party, even though they ain't giving us shit.
Oh.
They tried to use their little like mainstream media shills.
Oh my God!
Right.
Speaking of that,
what's up?
Did you hear about the National Reparations Convention they had this weekend, or they're having this weekend?
Nah.
Oh man, that shit was it was like church. It was in a church too. I forgot what they was even talking about. Listening to that shit, I was like, I forgot it was even about reparations and Cobra and Narc.
Okay. I mean, so here's the thing though. Here's the good part. The good thing is, even though they try to ignore it for so long and they try to downplay it, obviously they're tapped into what the grassroots is talking about. So they're trying to duplicate it.
Listening. Right? Yeah, they listening.
Yeah, but
they ain't trying to implement nothing we talking about.
Well, they're trying to fake like they're duplicating. That's why they did that shill ass fake ass reparations thing that you talking about, right? Only because they know that that's the buzz right now on the grassroots. That's the buzz right now in the new black media. So they gotta pretend they're pandering to try to get our votes.
Yeah, it's like they tried that shit in 2019 with Coleman Cruz and Danny Glover.
Yeah, I remember that. That shit was whack. I remember that. They had Bussy Boy up there talking about we don't need no reparations. And he ain't even an FBA, he ain't a Freeman.
Oh my God, yeah.
Hey, but check this out. Here's what was crazy about that Coleman Cruz, and here's how you know it was a plan. Because I remember I covered that shit when it actually happened on my other channel.
Yeah.
So I did the research on dude. Yeah, and I did the research on dude, and I'm like, okay, let me go to his IG page real quick. Because that's where he had his little video when he was salaciously dancing on the pole and shit.
Oh my God, yeah.
Remember that video?
Yes.
This nigga only had, he had less followers than me. I don't have that many followers on IG. I don't even be on IG. I have like maybe 800 followers at max. At that point, I had more than him. So it's like, where did you find this nigga, this obscure ass nigga that nobody's heard about, that be pussy popping on his videos to talk bad about reparations? Like, where did he just come from? He wasn't like some known dude who's a pundit who's always speaking on issues, or that was a best-selling author, or nothing like that. Just some nobody ass tethered rainbow flag Negro to tell us we don't need reparations.
Yeah, they always
but you're right, that was the same thing.
Homogenized, sissified, pacified Negro to trot in front of you. So I don't put nothing past the DemoKKKrats.
So that's why we have to keep just holding the line like we've been doing. Let them know that ain't enough. The symbolism ain't enough. You ain't gonna be able to fake the funk and fake your way up out of this shit. Pump fake. None of that shit's gonna work. We just ain't gonna
You
fuck
got to
with
come
you if
correct.
you intangible.
And we prepared to sit out several election cycles just so you get the freaking point. We're not playing with y'all. You want our vote, you're going to have to do
What's gonna
something.
happen is whoever loses is gonna know they lost or that they could have won if they would have got enough of our vote. So that means that they're gonna have to give us the tangibles that we talking about, or we're just gonna let them suffer.
Yeah, well, we've been saying since Nipsey passed, it's gonna be a marathon, not a sprint.
The marathon, that's right.
So the marathon continues, and it's all the way up to 2100. Man, something tangible. So the Democrats, they trying to hear you, Jay, but they're going about it all the wrong way. So now they want to give a award to Medgar Evers after 60 years after his death, after he was killed. He was assassinated, if I'm not mistaken. The Medal of Freedom, the Cardacity.
Yeah, for real.
So the sister was giving us the update on that Demetria K. I think she's on the A-Dunce crew side, but she gives love to FBA, so I ain't too mad at her.
Seriously talking about.
Presidential Medal of Freedom Award, and this is why they received it. The Presidential Medal of Freedom is the nation's highest civilian honor presented to individuals who have made exemplary contributions to the prosperity, values, or security of the United States, world peace, or other significant societal, public, or private endeavors. Okay, so some of those people that got that award was that of Al Gore, James Clyburn, which I'm not even really for sure why he got it, but this is the one that really chapped my hide. Check it out. Medgar Wiley Evers. Medgar Evers died 1963, fought for his country in World War II, and returned home to lead the fight against segregation in Mississippi after he was murdered at his home at the age of 37. His wife, Merle, continued to fight to seek justice and equality in his name. And that one really made me mad because it's like a medal. That's all he gets for what he was trying to do for Black people in Mississippi and ultimately throughout the United States. That brother lost his life trying to bring justice and equality to Black people. In fact, he was gunned down in his family's driveway as his family, wife and children, were on the other side of that door. They had to see what happened to their husband and father in the name of injustice in the United States of America. And so all he gets is a medal. Why don't you, Biden, since you want to give something away, why don't you give his people reparations? Because I think Medgar will want Black Americans to have that. Why don't you give us land? Remember 40 acres and a mule? We were supposed to get all of that, and we still haven't gotten that. When I say we, I mean our ancestors. We're still waiting for that. Why don't you give his people a hate crime bill specifically for us, like you give everybody else? Because I think he would appreciate that as he was fighting for the justice of his people. Also, what about a real police reform bill that protects Black people? Because that's what he needed back then, and he didn't have that. But yet you want to give him or his family a medal? I think that's an insult. It's another slap in the face to his family and to Black Americans to say, well, here, give him a medal. That ought to do it. If you really want to honor his legacy, then do what he was asking. But even in 2024, Black people are still no better off than we were back then. But a medal with no real substance, that's symbolism. But I know that Biden knows that there'll be a lot of Black people running around, ooh, look what they did. Ooh, that's something, ain't it? No, it's not. It's nothing. It's symbolism. And it's disrespectful. So as we are getting ready to go through elections, in November, we ought to think about that disrespect of that, medal that they gave to Medgar Evers' family and say, oh, that's how they really see us. Like, that's no secret, right? But Biden and his administration keep doubling down on the disrespect as they legislate in the favor for everybody else, but yet they're going to lean on Black people to help keep them in office. That really makes me mad. It's another reason for us to think about where we are going to spend our time on election day and night. Are we going to spend it with another candidate? Are we going to spend it with Biden? Or are we going to spend it on the couch? As we ponder about that medal that he gave Medgar Evers, who was a true freedom fighter and the liberation of Black people. I don't know. Y'all tell me. So anyway, for more insightful commentary, please subscribe to this channel and my channel, The Demetra K Show, here on YouTube.
All right, Jay Dizzle, what's your thoughts on that? Jay Dizzle, you're need to unmute.
Right. I mean, it's a nice try, but in reality, all that's going to do is maximize the people that would already have voted for him anyway. You know what I'm saying? That's not going to get them new voters.
Hell no.
That's just gonna maybe one of the loyal voters who maybe wouldn't have voted might be rejuvenated to vote, but that ain't gonna cut it. We know what that is. I mean, salute to the ancestor, man, for what he did. He put in that work. You know what I'm saying? In a place that is hard to put in that work. Mississippi ain't no joke. Mississippi is a shitty ass place.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So the fact that he had the bravery to do that, we gotta salute that. So I mean, in one hand, it's cool that they're memorializing him in such a way, but since we know it's only a political play, we know it's only game they're running because they know we're falling back from the Democratic Party because we ain't getting any tangibles. So for the purpose that they're doing this, it could actually backfire more than anything because it could make people so mad and disgusted at the blatant pandering without any actual substance that it might make people fall back even harder. You know what I'm saying?
This is the history they're trying to take out the books. This is the history they want children to know about. This is the history they're trying to take out the books. This is the they don't want our children to know about.
It ain't gonna work, man. We want what we want. We've been speaking it. We've been telling them. They know what it is. They're trying to do anything they can except give tangibles. Is what they're trying to do. And if we keep holding the line, sooner or later, they're gonna have to. Go ahead.
Bend that hill and come correct and cut the goddamn.
Yeah. That's right.
So yeah,
that's
complete.
That's right. I think if the Republicans are smart right now, if Trump is smart, he's gonna start actually, you know, saying coming with some type of action because he sees the numbers.
He don't even have a black. He don't have nothing black on his website, Jay Dizzle. We're gonna check his website out. Ain't nothing black.
He don't. If he's smart, you know, saying he'll at least make a play for it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's wise for people to just give like all these niggas for Trump. That's a real organization, by the way.
Oh my God.
And all that. I don't agree with that shit. No, there's really an organization called Niggas for Trump.
Yeah, it is, and it's run by a white man. Yes, Lady Che showed it on the article.
Oh.
Yep.
Wow.
It's run by Coach Butcher Cracker. He looked like Bubba Sparks.
Wow.
That's all his motherfucker. All the cars and stuff that old boy was stunting in, and that's last video. That's all his shit. The jury, all that. Yeah, Lady Che. Shout out to Lady Che. She showed all that on the RBA. Yeah.
I mean, we need tangible. That's what it is.
Oh hell yeah, we need them. And direct cash payments. Sabaka Stadium on is now $800 trillion. The world reserves just deposited that last week. 900
How much?
trillion, almost a gazillion dollars.
900 trillion?
Yes, almost a gazillion.
900 trillion?
Yes, the world reserves.
Oh. Yeah, we need we need them to sprinkle a good 20 trillion around. You know,
Yeah, to start with, well, 100 trillion to start with, but yeah, something you gotta
yeah.
come
And
with
then we
some
can,
kind of
and then we can, then we
payment.
can talk about land and some other. Then we can talk about land and some other shit. But let's start off with the money first.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That way, if nothing else comes, we can just do what it do.
With that, yeah. So I'm gonna move us along to Roly Poly Martin. Goddamn Roly Poly. Them Democratic shields, Jay, they just ain't got no
What's
chill.
he on right now? Let's see what this Negro's
He's
on.
freaking out. He freaking out. He losing it. He losing it. Desperation will set in, and he can't believe that black women don't love Joe Biden, Jim Crow Biden. He just can't believe it. This is such a shock to him that the sisters is getting on code with the brothers and saying the hell with Jim Crow
He's mad
Biden.
because he's mad because he's supposed to be able to get the niggas in line. You feel me?
Yeah, he ain't gonna get no butter biscuits this month.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, he's just
His
dying
butter
to get
biscuit
back on.
bonus his butter biscuit bonus is at jeopardy right now.
He's just dying to get back on Caucasian Nazi Network.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. He ain't got no pull.
In MSDNC. Oh yeah, it's over for him. The Democratic show. He's our Roly Poly.
Oh.
So shout out to TD Media Group. He's gonna give us the update on Roly Poly Martin freaking out, not knowing what he's gonna do. Don't look.
To Republican voters and see all of the coverage, all of the things that we're talking about with this New York hush money trial. How is it impacting them down here? So I spoke with about 5 different Republicans.
And for the record, the study that I cited /survey that I cited earlier this week discussing the hush money trial as it pertains to Trump and how the people feel about it, over half the population isn't even keeping track with it. That's how little they look upon this trial as being something that's credible.
And they represent a very wide cross-section, a very diverse group of Republican voters here in this county. And I asked them, how are they being impacted by this trial? Are they paying close attention? And what impact might a guilty verdict have on their decision to support the former president? Here's what they told me. Take a look.
Do each of you support Donald Trump?
I do.
Yes. Yes, yes, for all 3 of you. Yes. Has this trial changed question that at all?
No, it's actually caused me to support him more.
Remember, Stephen A. Smith got in trouble for saying that, and it's looking like to some degree that's holding true. It's holding true. There's an argument that there appears to be an argument that can be made that the Trump trial is actually pulling people closer to Trump, and specifically for black males.
I just don't.
Let me rewind that back just a little
Not
bit.
at all.
No, it's actually caused me to support him more. I just don't believe there's a coincidence that we have a trial happening in Atlanta. We have one happening in New York. So the question people are beginning to ask themselves, like I did, is like, why now?
It's pretty much everybody says they're picking on him. You know, people are tired of going after him, and you see it in so many areas. It's really not a big issue in the party. Actually, they're really making everybody mad, and they look at a big bully, and the government is the bully.
And what they're seeing also is that, you know, what the Biden administration and Democrats are doing are simply, as I've stated over and over again, they're engaging in lawfare. That's what this is. That's what's happening. They're engaging in lawfare. They're using the law and the legal system to delegitimize Trump, and the people are seeing right through it.
It's going to be your first time casting a ballot. What is it for you that drives your support of the former president?
I think always fighting. I mean, he's taken so much just defense from news and everything, but he still hasn't given up. He keeps fighting to do what's right.
I've talked to many people who formerly identified as a Democrat. They have changed their political persuasion to independent, and they are looking forward to voting for Trump because now they find something in common with a political candidate at that level.
When you say they find commonality, what is that commonality?
They have felt persecuted by the system of American injustice. And it's not a stretch for them to think that Trump may be a victim as well. People see that
and this is a Black woman that's saying this. That's what makes all of this so damning. That this is coming out of a Black
himself and the families that have been impacted by Black male incarceration.
Now, mind you, when you go back to the beginning of this video, you see a Black man, a Black woman, and a young white voter, we'll say, who will be voting for the first time. I think he's 18 or 17 going on 18, something like that. I believe he's already 18. All three of them are saying that they're voting for Biden, are voting for Trump, right? But the huge turnoff for them, if you're paying attention, is the Trump trials. It's the fact that it's a sham. These are sham trials, and everybody can see right through it, right? When you have a situation in New York, as I reported on earlier this week as well, I report on a lot of things. That's why you got to make sure you're subscribed. But as I reported on earlier this week, I believe it was the day before yesterday, the illegal immigrant Venezuelan migrants who put hands and feet on NYPD, 6 out of 9 of them were getting off with very soft, extremely lenient plea deals. And out of those 6 who were getting off on extremely soft, lenient plea deals, 2 of them were known gang members, part of the violent Venezuelan gang Terrain de Aragua, if I remember the name of it correctly. And it's a gang that didn't even have a presence here up until the migrant crisis began. The Venezuelan gang that is known for being extremely violent, only the people are and you're seeing illegal Venezuelan migrants who crossed the border illegally, came here, committed crime. One of them got busted for shoplifting while having this case on their back concerning assaulting an officer. So you got let out of jail after assaulting an officer, and then you went back out and committed a crime by stealing baby clothes and other out of a Babies R Us, and stealing I think like a sports jacket out of Macy's, and you're still getting off with a plea deal. But then they're seeing Trump on trial, and you're trying to body slam him with 20 years in prison for sleeping with a porn star and go away. People aren't going for that. They see through the foolishness, and that's why this is backfiring, because they see right through it. And it's backfiring so much in between that and the economy and the fact that folks feel like, and particularly Black Americans, they feel as if nothing has changed in between now and the Biden administration, in the Trump administration, right? In between administrations, or I should take that back. They feel that things have gotten significantly worse under the Trump administration, under the Biden administration. And if you look at the polls, Black American voters, as well as young voters and Latino voters, they're not convinced. They are not convinced at all that things are going to get better with another 4 years of Biden, which makes sense because we're rounding out his 10 years, the first 4-year run, and things aren't getting better. Everything is the same, if not getting worse, right? So that's what's happening right now concerning Biden and these voters as it pertains to Black voters, Latino voters, and young voters. But now let's get back to focusing specifically on the Black voters. Then we're going to get in on Black women voters, because Black women voters don't love Trump anymore. The Black woman vote does not love Trump or Biden anymore. That's how you know I'm in a rush. I keep twisting the two names up. So excuse me for that. I am rushing through today's stream. But let's get into this one right here concerning this CNN poll, right? This video here is around maybe like 45 seconds long. But I just want you to hear the CNN news anchors discuss this polling, right? In which it's now showing that 22% of Black Americans are expected to vote for Trump. It went from 20 to 22% now. It went up 2% higher. I always say I got to see it to believe it. I have to see it to believe it, because that, voting blue is a religion for Black folks. So I got to see it to believe it, but we'll see. We'll see. But look at how much of in a state of disbelief, right, and anxiety that the CNN team is here as he's discussing this. So let me pull this up for you right now and hit the like button if you haven't already. That's extremely important for the growth of this channel.
Number for Donald Trump, 22%. Where was Donald Trump at this point 4 years ago in the polls? He was
22% is crazy. I'm not going to lie. That's a huge number. 22% is a huge number. 22% of the black vote is wild. We'll see if it holds true in November.
But look at this number for Donald Trump, 22%. Where was Donald?
And I keep cutting it off, and this is the last time I'll cut it off because, like I said, I do have to go. But Nubian King stated how it is. I'm glad. That's exactly what the polling shows when you keep up with all this stuff. It shows it pertains to the older voters, senior citizens. They're locked in. They're locked in. They are completely and utterly terrified that if Donald Trump gets back in,
they're going to put you all back in chains.
They're going to put us back in chains. They're going to put us back on the slave block.
They're going to put you all back in chains.
Put us back on that block and sell us to other white folks for, chattel slavery. You get what I'm saying? Like, they're completely terrified of that. But as it pertains to the young black vote, they're not scared of that at all. The fear mongering, my point, that's the point I'm trying to make right now. The fear mongering is not working on the black voter. And that is what's severely hurting the Biden administration. It also doesn't help that when you slide your debit card, it destroys your bank account every single time when you just want to buy like a couple produce items. You want to buy apples, you want to buy a couple bananas and some grapes, $25. That's crazy, but that's real. And it's breaking people's pocketbooks, right? So in between your bank account getting broke off when you're trying to buy some apples and the fear mongering, which is insulting to my intelligence, you can't expect to get my vote that way. And it's looking like the same thing for the young black vote as well. So now let's carry on.
On the polls, he was just at 9.
I just want to rewind that back one more time. But
look at this number for Trump at this point 4 years ago. He was just at 9%, doubling in his support among African Americans. This margin, which was in the 70s just 4 years ago, look at where it is now, 69 minus 22. That puts it in the 40s. My goodness gracious. If this held through the general election, obviously we're still months away, this would be by far the best performance for a Republican candidate among black voters in a generation, 2 generations, probably since 1960 and
since 1964 to be exact.
Richard Nixon against John F. Kennedy. That's how long we're really talking about when we're looking at this margin here. This could be a truly historic margin. It's quite a troubling sign for the Biden campaign here.
That's complete annihilation if that holds true. No contest. That's first round knockout. Yeah. Once again, 1964 was the beginning of the end of the black vote. And I say it was the beginning of the end because that's when black folks just started giving their votes away for no reason, right? Giving it up absolutely for nothing. Democrats didn't have to work for it. Since 1964 up until this point in time, black folks have been voting blue no matter who, to the tune of 85 to like 90% religiously. And it's completely ridiculous. It's completely ridiculous because once again, if I don't have to fight for your vote, then how are you going to expect anything in return for the vote, right? What's the saying? Why buy the cow when the milk is free? If I'm not mistaken, that's the saying. And that's the saying that holds true for, the black vote. Why buy the cow when the milk is free? They're just going to give it up anyways, right? So, I'm not going to give you anything for it. Now, before we carry on, thank you very much, my man, Saul. I would be broke, busted, and dusty without Saul's support. He always comes through. I appreciate you. He says, have you seen Biden at the fast food restaurant? I felt bad for him. No, I haven't seen him. I don't know about that video, but I will look into it. And if it's as bad as you're saying it is in your comment, put the laughing emoji on it. I'm definitely going to talk about it next week, right? But let's hop into the last video because Roland Martin is in complete disbelief. Roland Martin in this clip that I'm going to pull up right now. As we all know, he is a diehard vote blue no matter who, unapologetic, doesn't care what anybody has to say. He's going to die on that vote blue no matter who hill. And in this video, which is 30 minutes long, but I've condensed it down to about 4 minutes. Normally, Roland Martin is very, enthusiastic, extremely sassy. You know, he's a very sassy man for some reason, and full of energy, calling everybody stupid and idiot and all other type of names, right? You can tell how defeated he was when he was going through the motions of putting this video out, right? And putting out this information. He was so unenthused. He seemed so down in the dumps, as if to say, man, let's just get this out there. Okay, let's just put this out here because we have to put it out there because we're the news. But dang. You can see the disbelief on Roland Martin's face. He just can't believe that this is happening. So let's get into this clip right now.
It hit strategies.
Let's start it from the very top and action.
The Black Women's Roundtable Essence and Hit Strategies released the 9th annual Power of the Sister Vote. The poll is a survey of Black women voters on the issues that matter most to them. Melanie Campbell with the Black Women's Roundtable joins us right now with the poll results. Melanie, glad to have you here. So what does it show?
It shows.
Yeah, you don't have a promissory note, but you do have the fact that you can vote their ass out of office as leverage. And if we're going to get you in the office, we want you to be pushing our agenda. But yeah, he said, where's the Black lobby? The Black lobby is working 2 and 3 jobs. That's where the Black lobby at. People ain't got time like that to be out there lobbying. We should have Black lobbyists, though. That's in these representatives and Congress face pushing the Black agenda.
What's the fact?
That for the
look at how serious he is. He was like, so what does it show? He's so just, you know, the poll that just came out and then about Black women voting, and where's all that sassiness? Roland is a sassy man. I don't know where's the sass. The sass is gone. He just seems so irritated and bitter.
So what does it show?
It shows that for the first time that I've ever known, that Black women are in what you call the persuadable category, that we are going to have to be persuaded to vote. There's also generational divide, that the younger you are, the less likely that you say that you're going to vote, right? We know there's anxiety. Anxiety is high, all the things that, you know, that we know around issues, but when it comes to where we stand politically, that there's a lot of work that has to be done.
Now, I want to pause just for a quick moment, because the significance in this is that this polling was done by Black pollsters, right? So this isn't a mashup of like the New York Times poll or the Associated Press poll, that these polls that Roland Martin tend to dismiss, right? Because they're not exclusively polling Black people, they're polling all people. And then they come across, I guess, some random Black people, if you ask Roland Martin. And I guess those random Black people, they're polling opinions don't count, right? You need to be exclusively polling Black people only to get an accurate count of how Black voters are feeling, right? And that's what makes this particular video so significant, right? Because as we're going to go through this information right now, you're going to see that Black women are not feeling Biden at all. And if Black women don't love Joe no more, if they don't love Joe anymore, it's over. It's over.
Our numbers tend to be much higher.
Rewind this back just a little bit. And this is the woman that's speaking right here. She said, our numbers are usually much higher. They are in complete disarray.
To where we stand politically, that there is a lot of work that has to be done. Our numbers tend to be much higher. I can't remember now, and Dr. Avis Jones-Weaver, and of course, you know, Terrence Woodbury and Hit Strategies was our pollster, but we also had, you know, Dr. Avis Jones-Weaver who helped with the analysis, and none of us have seen that before. So there is a difference. It's a lot to unravel, but the bottom line is, the Democratic Party, if they want the Black vote to turn out for them, they're going to work for it. And if the Republicans want to take a stab at moving it, they have work to do. And Black women are not a sure thing. They're going to have to work for it. Just like they have to work for Black men and all of us, they got to work for the Black vote, bottom line.
Now, I want to just shout out to Sierra Holmes. She said, y'all remember when he cried during the last election, seeing Black people standing in line to vote? I'm so mad that I don't have that clip up. I wanted to have that clip up and ready, but because I was so much of a rush, as I'm sure many of you all can tell, I keep tripping over my words.
Like
Trump because I'm in a rush. I didn't get to put that clip together, but I'm definitely going to spin the block back on Roland Martin and play that video when he was crying because Black folks were standing in line to vote Biden in 2020. That is so shameful, sassy Roland. I mean, he was crying like a baby. But let's get into this because we're going to round this video out shortly.
And so what really I think is speaking loud and clear here is that if you are Biden Harris, if you are examining this issue here, really just
we have a problem, right?
I'm not sure what you said in the Black month or not. She said in the month of Black History Month, we're in May. Isn't Black History Month in February? We're in May. They're in such disbelief that Black women don't love Joe no more, that they think it's Black History Month. We're not in Black History Month. Black History Month was like 3 months ago. We're in May now. But that's how in this they are. They just can't believe it. Said in 3 months. Lady.
I know, there's a lot of data out there, and this is one of
and so you see right here where Hit Strategies, Terrence Woodbury explains methodology. They talked to 800 Black women, registered voters nationwide. They were in the field February 16th through 2000, February 16th through the 21st. And then you see right here, it also says the presentation also includes comparative data from a 2022 phone interview.
Okay, I'll throw them a little slack. I think she confused and said that this was Black History Month that we're in now, because the polls that they're citing from the Black pollsters that exclusively polled Black women was done in February, but I guess they're finally reporting on it now. So I'll cut her some slack.
Poll conducted by Brilliant Corners among 601 Black women. So a poll was done in 2022 by Cornell Belcher's firm, Brilliant Strategies. This poll was done by Terrence Woodbury with Hit Strategies. And you see right the president 20% remain support here.
I don't want so 50% lack enthusiasm. Not vote from vote. He said it.
Oh.
51% is extremely low for Black women. That is extremely low. But it reads, while a slim majority of Black women voters, 51%, support President Biden's reelection, 20% remain undecided about who to support in the upcoming presidential election. Once again, when we're talking about Black women voters, 20% being undecided, only 51% are definitely going to vote for him, and 20% are undecided. They're like, Biden or Trump, I don't know which one I'm going for.
or the couch.
Once again, this spells annihilation for Biden if he's unable to pick it up. And I don't see how he's going to be able to pick this up. Let me finish this out. I think it only has about 30 seconds. I'll rewind it back just a little bit.
And you see right here, one, clear generation, slim majority of Black women vote undecided about who to support. It says here, a fourth part of this generational gap comes from younger Black women who is feeling increasingly anxious about the upcoming elections, and they don't see that their lives have gotten better in the last 4 years. Biden is clearly in 2024 presentation, but his greatest threats are potentially independent third-party voters and drop-off voters, especially among young
Black women. The young Black vote seemingly is going for the fear-mongering. They're not going for the fear-mongering. They're seemingly basing the I would want to vote for based off their actual life circumstances and what makes logical sense to them. They're even excluding race out the picture. Not thinking about racism and all that stuff. And thinking about, police shootings. Not thinking about none of that right now. They're thinking about the fact that when I go to the grocery store and I try to buy 3 produce items and I got kids to take care of.
Remember, you
got to get Trump back in there. Got to get Trump. Because that we will vote for Biden.
Not happening.
That is a small number. That is small for Black women and spells trouble Joe Biden. With all that being said, that fumbly today. I'm typically normally fumbly, especially when I'm reading, but might have been a little bit more fumbly today, more than normal. In a rush. I gotta stick to her and on this string. Biden and Trump didn't kind of throw off the string too much. But please, like button on the way.
Yep, please do the same for Frontline Black News, the Revolutionary Agenda on YouTube and Facebook. MD, the cap. It's not going to reflect that 2024. It's just not. He said the numbers are going to be 80 to 90% of Black voters to Biden. No. Them days are over, MD.
I hope so.
Now he understated.
But I'll say this though.
The political.
I mean, I'm glad that people are falling back from the Democrats, but at the same time, that shouldn't automatically be a vote for Republicans. You know what I'm saying? Like fall back and make them offer something. Make not just the sentiments. I don't give a damn if they're doing a political thing against Trump and niggas is trying to, empathize with him because he's being persecuted. That's not a reason to vote. You know what I'm saying? We still need them tangible at the end of the day. If they ain't talking about something tangible, something that they're going to do directly to benefit us, then they don't deserve our vote, period.
The only one that I know outside of myself that's running for president for us and have reparations plan and payout schedule on his website. Neither Biden or the dump, as in human shit, and we want to make that perfectly clear, have anything of that sort anywhere on their websites, anywhere in their policy, anywhere in their platforms.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like if everybody just think they're just going to run to Trump because they're mad at Biden, all the Republicans going to do is the same thing that the Democrats been doing, and that's nothing. Like if we just give them our vote and we just declare our allegiance to them without them even saying anything that they're going to do for us, that's a bad strategy. We already tried that. We tried that with the Democrats for 50 years. You know what I'm saying? So no, they got to speak to it.
Right.
That's why we got to keep holding the line, because as we get closer to that election, they're going to feel more pressure, both sides.
Oh yeah, and pressure pipes. here, both the parties collapse. You want black vote, you're gonna have to do something tangible for it. And the independent parties,
like they do with everybody else.
He said but he ain't got no plan for reparations. He just put it on the website because he thought it sounded nice. But no.
Who did? Who did?
RFK.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, they're gonna try it. They're gonna try it because it's worked so many times before that they're not gonna stop running the same playbook until they're absolutely clear that it ain't gonna work.
And RFK and that coon ass nigga Jeff Farr disrespected our B1 sister Vicky Dillard when he had RFK on his program. Vicky Dillard was hitting him with them hard truths that he couldn't come to grips with. And when she asked him directly about reparations, he kind of got on that study shit. So even though the websites say that he support reparations, he don't really have a plan for reparations. So he's not a viable.
What about Cornel West? Is Cornel West even talking about reparations?
Yes, Cornel West is. He has direct cash payments for Black Americans. So he kind of needs to work on a language. This website that says it's either African Americans or Black Americans on his website. Direct cash payments to be paid in 2 years. So let me ask the question. Okay, MD, what is your question? It's okay to fall back and let Trump win. So that was just so fearmonger. That's not working no more. He said let Trump win, so we can turn our neighborhoods into police states. They're already police states. Are we in the same country? Have you been living in the same country for the past, 40, 50, 60 years? We are in a police state. Federal stop and frisk and National Guard. That's already happening. That's already happening on the DemoKKKrats under Sleepy Jim Crow Biden. This is already happening. So how will it be worse under the dump as in human shit? And we want to make that perfectly clear. We damned if we do, damned if we don't. Ain't none of them gonna do nothing specifically for us. That belongs to a major legitimate party. It's just not happening. So we should not give our vote to them. It should be quid pro quo. You want our vote, you're gonna have to do something in exchange for our vote.
Period.
Otherwise, it's the couch, the recliner,
that easy,
and all the fear in the world. Change that. All right, so I'm gonna move us along. We got a good old Abbott. Speaking of the Republicans, the Republicans are showing their redneck asses. Oh, yeah, we gotta chop it up. Yeah, you should come on the Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced. Oh, yeah, join us Tuesday. Then we're gonna do a Malcolm X show. Yeah, today is Malcolm X's 99th solo return. So this is Malcolm X Day right here. We just reached it in the Mile High. It's at midnight now. So rest in power to the elders. So good old Texas Governor Greg Abbott. He partners a murderer, a suspected white supremacist, who killed a BLM protester back in 2020. He was white, ironically enough, but he was off cold white, and they can't have that. So he tried to pull a Kyle Rittenhouse, and they gave him some time for that, and now he got pardoned. So
that should be a lesson right there. That should be a lesson for us.
This is a major lesson.
I mean, if they're willing to go that far for niggas that's off code in their camp, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
We need to be able to set some type of demonstrations up for cats that go against the grain for us.
Right.
There should be some demo tapes being handed out, and you know what I'm saying, mixtapes and shit.
Yeah, so this white supremacist Daniel Perry, that's his name. When I first seen it, I thought it was Daniel Penny. I was like, what the fuck? But no, Daniel Perry. I forgot what's the era. Somewhere on the West Coast, Southwest. He went to a damn protest, BLM protest, and tried to run people over. So he basically pulled a Daryl Brooks Jones. Daryl Brooks. Jay, did you remember Daryl Brooks?
Who that?
You don't know
Oh
about
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He was up in like Wisconsin or something, right?
Yeah.
Minnesota, maybe.
Yeah.
Somewhere up there.
Outside of Milwaukee.
Yeah.
We got a crew out there, Outlaw Radio, that we fucked with heavy. But yeah, he he tried to kill like 60 of them old ass crackers. So this month he called himself going down to a BLM protest and trying to run over people back in 2020. And he killed a white man that was out there caping for the blacks, for black people. He was out there caping for black people because he
they'll
significant.
That's how they deal with their traders. That's how they deal with their traders. They do that and then they get away with it because the whole system's on code.
The whole system is on code, including the governor of the good old state of Texas.
Yeah.
That's where you're at, right?
Texas. No, that's where I was at for a couple of years. Back in the Northwest, man. Yep.
Okay. All right, so Tariq had went over this. Was another clip I was going to play with. I guess I'll get to it real quick. Run up the other clip. I think this was a Twitter space. I think you might have been on this one, Jay.
Which one?
The one we was talking about Greg Abbott being partners.
Anybody your website, please?
It's real. So because the is like a smear. A lot of the issues, but I haven't put nothing up. I haven't put anything up just yet.
News. He also shared a meme of a woman holding a child's head underwater in a bathtub, saying, "This is what happens when your daughter has a baby by a Negro," something to that effect. So this guy was hardcore with his white supremacist views.
Yeah, Daniel Perry.
He is in jail because he ran through a crowd of Black Lives Matter protesters and he shot one of them point blank. This was a white guy he shot. It was another Kyle Rittenhouse type situation. This time he was actually convicted, but the suspected white supremacist governor pardoned him and then gave him all of his gun rights back. Now, this Daniel Perry guy, this was another case, again, like Kyle Rittenhouse. This was premeditated. They uncovered some texts and some documents of him saying he wanted to go and kill black protesters. And he had a whole bunch of racist messages, text messages, racist messages on boards. He was talking about running over protesters. Somebody in the comment section says, "Can you get me a knee?" He said, "Yep, I hope so." Which is what they used to do. They used to disfigure and cut off body like ears and other sensitive parts to take as souvenirs when they would lynch black people. So this guy was bad news. He also shared a meme of a woman holding a child's head underwater in a bathtub saying, "This is what happens when your daughter has a baby by a Negro, something to that effect. So this guy was hardcore with his white supremacist views. What's up, Yoshi G? I see you, beloved. So this guy was hardcore with his white supremacist views. So again, the premeditated thing. He wanted to go in and protesters, and he went and did it. And they did the old "I'm white and I say so" routine, and let him go. Well, we shouldn't be shocked. This is how white supremacy works. And the reason why they have to do a bold move like this, now they know Governor Abbott and all of these people, and there were other politicians campaigning to let him go. It's very important for them to pull a white supremacist stunt like that. That's very blatant, and just the same way they did with Kyle Rittenhouse. The poor, rank and file white supremacists know, okay, hey, there's some empty for you. And I'm pretty sure we got some suspected white supremacists in here. We're going to, let me see, let's get some of these folks in here.
Okay. I'm going to play the Young Turks next. Dr. Rashad Rashay.
Greg, Abbott is at it again. And again, I ask rhetorically, who hurt you? Why so nasty? Why are you doing this? The Texas governor pardons a man in a fatal BLM protester. That's what he has time for. What's going on? Her Mother Jones on Thursday, purportedly on the advice of the Texas Board of Pardons and Paroles. Texas Governor Greg Abbott on the left formally pardoned Daniel Perry Center for his 20 murder of the 28-year-old Garrett Foster on the right with his fiance. Lives Matter protests in Austin. I to this tragedy. Here's coverage of the shooting committed by Daniel Perry.
Foster's wheelchair-bound fiance. Foster is legally carrying an AK-47 rifle, something he was actually interviewed about on social media. Take a little listen.
They don't let us march in the streets anymore, so got to practice some of our rights.
This was not the only time he did this, okay? He was kind of known, that protest movement, for coming this way. Now, here's the salient part. At some point, a car got involved with the protesters. Some say it was just driving through an intersection. Others say it burst onto the scene. Either way, Foster was in a crowd of protesters that surrounded the car. Then this happened.
Everybody back up!
Didn't need to happen. And a jury agreed it didn't need to happen.
With millions watching and many people benefiting from this program called Indisputable,
so Mother Jones said that board the facts don't add up. New York Times and the clarification from the board is now. Ago, he was working as swiftly as the law allows. That's the quote, to get Perry out of prison. Texas is one of the strongest stand your ground laws of self-defense by jury explained at the time. He used that same line verbatim in his statement declaring Perry a free man. This is the twisted nature of what law and order means in Texas. It is soft on crime to convict someone of murder now. Mother Jones. Perry was an active duty U.S. Sergeant, July 25th, 2020, working as an Uber driver. Perry was driving his vehicle near the school when he encountered the BLM protesters that night in Austin. He drove after he drove to get out of the way. That's what the honk means, right? Most of us would say, take a detour. I don't want to get involved in this traffic nightmare, whatever. You don't have to. He then shot Foster 5 times through his car window. Perry claimed self-defense as his justification for killing Foster. It was also as the officer pointed a rifle at him, not. If you're in the vehicle, even in Texas, your window. No. Prosecution produced disturbing messages from Perry. He talked repeatedly about shooting and quote, I might go to loot in text. In another message per the Texas Tribune, he mentioned seeing blacks up in a group and wrote that, I wonder if they will let me cut the ear off of people who decided to commit suicide by me. In prison and a hearing comments and said that psychological experts had found him to be basically a loaded gun. As the pardons board considered this with Travis and district with the board to argue against the pardon. I thought pardons were different. There's a certain threshold. I'll make sure to do this. But hey, in Texas, maybe not. Maybe not. Jackson, what have you heard thus far?
Well, I mean, pardoning this guy really doesn't serve much of a logical purpose other than a political decision. And, you know, this is in line with the right wing's obsession with guns. You know, because you just pointed out all these text messages where he obviously showed some intention to where he wanted to be violent at some point. He wanted to take vengeance, especially against these protesters. It was on his mind. And shooting out your window 5 times, that's a lot of times to shoot. But then again, there's also the issue on the other side is even if this guy didn't point his AK-47, he still had it. So why do we need people with guns all over the place to begin with? You know what I'm saying? No matter how you look at this story, it's oh, everyone has guns, which is the problem. You know what I'm saying? Obviously we have the right to have weapons. It makes total sense to defend yourself, especially if it's your home, if you're out and about. But, oh, there's a bunch of protesters. I can't wait. Itch to shoot, similar to Kyle Rittenhouse about it. But again, why did this guy need to be pardoned? Other than just principle for principle's sake. We love guns in this country. Everybody got guns, and this is Texas. So again, the guy who got shot, he had a gun too. Everybody got guns, and somehow that's not the issue. So it's really ridiculous.
Yeah, it is, and I think it's a way to tell Black people, brown people, supporters of a Black Lives Matter movement that you don't matter. And you're not in charge. And Greg Abbott is making a political statement and lying along the way. And it looks like the Texas Board of Pardons is really just a rubber stamp for what this governor or the next or the previous decides he wants to do. He already chose barbed wire, right? Put that so that migrants trying to get to a better life would find it difficult or even die. And he's wanted to do much more. And some have died, right? Some have died. So here's where we're at. Per the New York Times, under Texas law, a recommendation from the board is necessary before the governor can grant a pardon. He announced a little over a year ago he was working as the law allows to get Perry out of prison. Because like I said, there's not anything else to do. This has to move up. This is urgent, okay? This is almost like, when a governor says this is a federal disaster. He goes to the presidency, goes to the feds and says, I got to get someone in here now. It's an emergency. That's what it seems like. Texas is one of the strongest stand your ground laws of self-defense that cannot be nullified by a jury or a progressive district attorney. Abbott explained on X at the time. He used the same line verbatim in his statement declaring Perry a free man. This is the twisted nature of what law and order means in Texas. It is soft on crime to convict someone of murder now. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, just
punctuate.
A waste
right?
of a pardon. It just really is a
Well,
waste.
and here's what happens next. Per NBC News, the governor's pardon will restore Perry's right as if he were never convicted, including the right to own firearms, because he's been so responsible with them. Yeah, I added that. The family of Foster, a former U.S. Air Force mechanic, expressed disbelief at Perry's pardon, attributing it to political motives. Republicans and pundits, including Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton and Tucker Carlson, had called for the pardon. Oh, well, you're on the side of something when Tucker starts calling for it. Yes. Fruit flies. Feels like a Twilight Zone episode, Foster's mother Sheila said. This seems like a political circus and it's costing me my life. She noted that her son, a Second Amendment supporter who attended the racial justice protest in 2020, quote, deserves so much better. Sheila added he was an Air Force veteran protecting people from people like Perry. He should be here. After being charged, Perry became a right-wing cause celeb. Abbott made his initial promise to look into a pardon almost immediately after then Fox News host Tucker Carlson ran a segment criticizing him for inaction in April of 2023. Members of Perry's defense team did make hay that apparently improperly consulted information back. Not supposed to. There were bigger reasons, like Kyle Perry was exalted, persecuted martyr, stand narco tyranny. Statement to the pardon, turn in place, shooting it. Now, it's worth reckoning with the self-defense here, so that you can carry a gun almost anywhere, but also if you see someone, shoot them justifiably. It's hard to have a First Amendment look doesn't make much of a Second Amendment either. This is not just about Daniel Perry, Abbott's pardon, and its accompanying rhetoric into a pattern of surveillance and violence against undesirables. In this case, it was an Air Force veteran protesting police brutality. There's not even a cursory mention in Abbott's statement of Foster, the victim. In January, it was migrants. The only thing that we are not doing is we're not shooting people who come across the border. Abbott told NRA spokesperson Dana Loesch. Because, of course, the Biden with murder. Shooting site, no trial, no justification. I think that's murder. Charge should be had. Oh yeah, at all. But to deal with people, in particular people inside monsters, is very much a live issue. Hitting groups of people with their vehicles is an extremely common thing in the United States. Analysis found May 2020, September 2021, vehicles drove into protests at least 139 times. For 65 incidents, at least to grant immunity to drivers in such circumstances. I mean, they've got a lot of things prioritized. and give drivers who run over protesters immunity, seems like that's top of the list. It's urgent, depending on where you live and who your governor is. I just Senator Republican who was free. Way. And another text ahead of an earlier wrote to a friend near me or my car.
Why is your shit
message from Abbott
like that, Jesse? Hey, get that, sir. Not getting it. Why is your shit like that with the speaker, like Jesse? Are you even on here? Hello. I'm in the back. I'll tap myself in. Jay Dizzle, what's cracking?
Yo, what's good? What's good?
Now this speaker is all shoddy and shit. What's going on here, Jesse? Are you even awake? Did you fall asleep? Look, that sound like you fell asleep, huh?
Yeah, I think we was just watching YouTube together, I guess.
Sound like you fell asleep.
Brown or you're black.
Thank God somebody came in.
Equal protection. You don't.
You've been in here by yourself,
Well, Greg Abbott is. Want your impression of all of the accent, but this. They've been. I'm not trying to rope the president. The has basically dared him to do something to him.
See, yep, he's out. Okay, let me hold down the show for a second and then see where he went because he popped out. That's why you should come over here, cuz we'll just keep messing around. Laughing. No, you should have been over here, and then you wouldn't have these problems. But that's good. I don't know what he ran through, so let me look. Let me see what the topic of the day is. How you doing? How's everybody doing?
I'm good.
How long you been here?
Cool. I don't know, good half hour, maybe more. Pretty much the whole time.
Also, push forward.
But yeah.
Let's see. I think he's messaging me back finally. Do better then. Shit. Send me the list. Let me help you, man. I was like, just get back in the studio. Send me your cue and let me help you, cause your audio sounds like shit, for real. And that's the whole reason I got on here, so I could tell you about it. So yeah, do that. Do better. All right. Hold on. Let me get Jesse back in the studio. Jesse in the studio. Send me your cue, cause I'll help you real fast. This is your only chance.
All right, give me a second.
Yeah, see?
You fall out, bro?
No, is it?
Nah,
it's his Wi-Fi thing. It sounds like you fell out.
That's
though.
Cool. That's cool. We got the gist of it. We could chop it up about it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, what are your thoughts? Okay.
I don't know what it was talking about. So.
It was about that the governor that pardoned that dude. It was kind of like the Kyle Rittenhouse. Same thing happened in Texas, basically.
Oh my gosh, that's how I'm reading it. So she pardoned the one that killed Neely.
I don't know. Whoever was in Texas. Same thing as Kyle Rittenhouse happened. Some dude killed some white kids at a BLM rally in Texas, and they let them go because they're on code. And if they see that their people is starting to ride with us, then they're basically setting the message out that their life don't mean nothing. In other words, stay on code. You know what I'm saying? You
Or
can't be
else.
fighting for the other team, or we're gonna get you up out of there. Which from a war strategy standpoint, I can respect it. I get it. You know what I'm saying? I think we need to be a little bit harder on our detractors. You feel me? That's how hard they'll go against theirs.
Yeah, I'd be like, man, you about to get left behind. I give fuck. Especially as I made a declaration the other day. I was like, I'm gonna be also revolutionary and militant all year long. I don't care who likes it. And then just getting myself into war mode. That's the day yesterday, my sister. She was intentionally antagonizing me. So yeah, I think we should. I agree. I think we should be more deliberate.
Oh yeah, more deliberate and about it. So
Yeah, they letting it be known.
Night, ladies.
Okay, no, go ahead.
Oh
That's
yeah,
fine.
hell yeah.
I want to cover that. I was going to tell you about it, but I heard earlier, so that's why I fell out. I just straight fell out. my heart was hurting.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
you got to let's talk to the name.
All right, cool.
But I had so good old Abbott, the partner, known murderer, known white supremacist race soldier, and like Jay said, they on code with it. So it's time that we get on code as well, Black family, and counteract against this shit. He's basically deputizing.
I mean, we got they basically cleaning house. They solidifying their base, cleaning house, and creating incentives for those who go against us. Even though the people that he killed was white, they was riding for us. So to them, it's all the same.
Yeah, they were.
You know me? That'd be like if somebody killed a Candace Owens and then we let him out of jail. You feel me? or somebody like that. You know what I'm saying? Or something like that. That's the same energy.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
You know?
That motherfucker not getting out of jail.
Just saying. So I mean, this is some good stuff to learn because at one point, you know what I'm saying, when we running this shit, that's how we're gonna have to operate, right?
Right.
When we running this, then we gotta operate the same way. Oh, you killed one of the coons? Okay, well, they convicted you? No, don't worry about it. You getting out of jail, man.
No. Right. I'm like that. I'm very serious about that. You hear I talk in person. I'm like, man, you put me on a park around nothing but killers. You ain't getting out. You are not getting out. That's after I took everything. Like, I'm still right off the street. What? Just I'm sorry. What'd you say?
Lady Tape, does that?
I can't hear a goddamn thing you just said. Can't hear anything you said, baby.
Does that mean that
definitely
Brooks Jr. is going to be
get out because he did the one thing everybody always talks about, and nobody wanted to give him no grace on it. Yeah, everybody. How many motherfuckers that said in their whole goddamn life was like, yeah, oh man, I wish I was there. I would have ran over all them motherfucking cockatoids. How many times you heard that shit, right? And then the one motherfucker that actually does it, nobody wanted to give him grace. They said they want to talk about how stupid he was and how the fuck he tried to run this trial by himself, and that was some ignorant shit. I was like, he did the one thing everybody fucking fantasized about, and that was motherfucking taking down a parade of motherfucking white folk all in one knock. You know what I mean? So, and he getting out just because I said so. Because he did the
He
one
should
thing.
get out because I think that was all in self-defense anyway. If I remember that was self-defense. I think
It was an accident.
you know what I'm saying? He was afraid. He was afraid of his life for his life. You know what I'm saying?
They get to get away with it, and I'm scared for my life, and he can't be scared. He a black man surrounded by a bunch of white folk.
Yeah. Somebody probably pointed a gun at him. He was trying to get away. You know what I'm saying? So we need to relook at that case. Matter of fact.
Exactly. I was all over that case. I was creating all kind of reasonable doubt.
Yeah, I remember I was on Black Guy Stand Radio and some dude called in and he was like, "Oh, what happened?" And he was cooling hard. I think I got the video clip on my channel, and he was cooling hard. You know what I'm saying? He was like, "Oh man, why?" He was like, "That wasn't fair. He should be in jail." And I was like, because he was pro Rittenhouse getting off, but he wanted that dude to go to jail. This was a brother,
Oh my
so-called
God!
brother,
I was wanted
and I was like,
Daryl Brooks to get to stay in jail, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" I was like, "This is the one thing we're always giggling about, low key, high key, by ourselves. This is what they were always talking about." It, man. I would have ran them. Man, I would have set that white person's house on fire. We would have said how many crazy shit in that context, and now all of a sudden it's a bad thing when the one motherfucker actually did it, and then he tried to do what everybody does. What everybody in court, whoever went to court, any black person who's ever went to court by themselves does. They try to fight their own case. They try to argue their own.
He shouldn't have. Yeah, but that wasn't a good move on his part.
It wasn't a good move, but come on, how many motherfucking black people? I've done it. I've done it.
I mean, let's keep it real. It don't matter. It probably would have been the same result anyway.
Damn right. I will argue his case again. I'm like, that motherfucker case back up on trial. Plus that white judge, not just because she was white. I would say, yeah, she's white and she's Karen. Those are my two already out the gate fucking opposition. But she really did not. She really did not. The gate. She was like, fuck him. He is going down for all of this.
Remember they had up in the turtle suit?
Say what, man? What you say,
That happened in the turtle suit.
Oh yeah,
Remember
well,
when
yeah,
he first went?
you're right. That I would have played crazy right out the gate. I would have did exactly the same shit. I ain't got front. I probably did at one point. I prozated two of my own fucking cases, and I was in the turtle suit a couple of times. So I think I'm funny. I've done some crazy shit when I went to jail. You know what I mean? But this is any motherfucking black person, like any black person that I've known, at least, and I know grit like down their whole life, that have done some crazy shit to get out of jail. Out of jail, because it's better to fight. I think it's better to fight your kids out of jail than it is in jail.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so I don't know that. So yeah, to answer your question, yeah, you get out on me, Jesse. You get out on me.
You gonna get pardoned, yes.
Goddamn right, he getting pardoned.
If we're going by this logic,
right?
The top 15, he's getting pardoned.
Yeah, Daniel Perry. That's Daniel Perry. I keep getting confused with Daniel Penny.
That's what I
yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. Yep.
That's why I asked. I said, not the one that killed Neely already. I thought we didn't crucify him yet.
He did what Darrell Brooks. He basically did what Darrell Brooks did, and he's getting pardoned.
Because he's white.
That's why we need more black lawyers, though, man. We need more black lawyers.
Yeah.
That could work on cases
Real
like
shit.
that. You feel me?
Yeah.
Yep.
I was gonna be one of those.
Yeah, we was working with the Cochrane Institute with our brother Silo.
Yeah. Because we're trying to really try to.
If we had just a handful of Cochranes, it'd be on.
Yeah, not the fucking ambulance chasers, because these ambulance chasers don't be solving it. Have you ever seen a case get finished yet? Like seriously,
Case get what?
Finished. That any of the motherfucking ambulance chasers be working on?
Yeah, it's finished when they get that check. What you talking about? That's what it was all about. As soon as they get that check, they done. They on to the next one.
God damn, man! I've never seen them go to court. What you say, Jesse? Put it in the messenger.
The mother.
Is there another clip? Is that what you guys say? Is there another clip?
Yeah, can y'all hear me?
Barely, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I was saying we seen that firsthand with Elijah McClain here in Colorado, Lady K.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. And then I mean, but look at that. Like everybody want to talk shit about how well good said about Mama acting out, right? But look how raggedy she acted out at the very end of that last hearing, right? She was really acting out. I was like, God, this bitch is raggedy. And what you do with this $15 million? I want to know. Inquiring minds still want to know. You get $15 million from them, right? And the way it broke down was like $5 million from the state, $10 million from here, right? Broke down all kind of shit.
Yeah.
I was like, what you do with that $15 million? Because you still look shabby.
Right.
I really want to know what you do with that $15 million. Like, oh yeah, I was gonna cover this immediately on the RVA. I got you, Jesse. Hold on a second. Hold on, real quick. I got you real fast. I'm gonna do a real. I'm gonna share the screen.
That's the last topic for the night.
Oh yeah. I was gonna get on the RVA because I was talking big shit on Shabaka's show for a second. My thoughts were very simple. I was like, look, she's a Democratic shill. This is my thoughts, okay? Because I didn't see it. Every time Shabaka brings up the news, we on the radio, right? So I didn't see none of it. I seen like the clips, right? So and I was like, he reading the article, Shabaka reading the article, and I'm like, she a Democratic shill. She put herself in these positions where she started shilling for Biden, and she don't ever talk about black folk. She don't do shit for black folk. It doesn't matter what the fuck she says. She really isn't about black folk. She's been all over the media. That's just what I've noticed, right? And then he hits me with this hard Shabaka hits me with part of the article. He's like, and Marjorie said something about her body and her ass. Oh no, now she went too far. Like we can't have nobody talking. We can't have no crackers talking about her sister like that, right? It went from one extreme to the next. I was like, oh no. First bitch is a Democratic shill, but you ain't gonna talk about a sister like that. Like you went from one.
And then she was like, so bad, big back.
I was like, this bitch is wilding. I was like,
yeah, she was.
Bitch talk about a sister like that. I said, one thing we talking about her that she had Democratic shield, she don't do shit for black folk, but never did we attack the way she looked. I mean, come on, cuz this bitch is
no, she dropped the bar. She dropped the bar on that one. That was bars right there. She was spitting.
I was like, oh my God.
All she needed was a bitch at the end. All she needed was a bitch at the end, and that would have been cherry on top.
I think she was trying her hardest, Jay, not to say it.
Probably, yeah.
Right,
but it rolled off the tongue, though. You know what I'm saying? She was Kendrick in there spitting.
Yeah.
It was so Shabaka read the article, and I went from one extreme to the next. Like literally, I was like, oh no. Like no, like I won't have that. You know what I mean? Like I'm excited with
Jasmine Crockett slams MTG after insulting her appearance. Did you see it? If not, here it is.
I'd like to know if any of the Democrats on this committee are employing Judge Merchan's daughter.
Please tell me what that has to do with Merrick Garland.
Is she a porn star?
Oh, Goldman. That's right. He's advising. Okay.
He's advising who? What? Do you know what we're here for? You know we're here about AG.
I don't think you know what you're here for.
Well, you the one talking about.
I think your fake eyelashes are messing up.
No, ain't nothing.
Hold on.
Listen.
Order, Mr. Chairman.
That's beneath even
You engage order of your committee. Order.
I do have a point of order, and I would like to move to take down Ms. Green's words. That is absolutely unacceptable. How dare you attack the physical appearance of another person?
Are your feelings hurt?
Her words down.
Oh,
girl, baby girl.
Oh, really?
Don't even play,
Baby girl,
We are gonna move and we're gonna take your words down.
I second that motion.
So who will have to pay? Okay. But Ms. Green agrees to strike her words.
I believe she
Chair
should
recognizes
apologize. No.
Perry. Okay, hold on. Then after Mr. Perry's going to be recognized, then Ms. Green
I'm not
has 4 minutes and
apologizing.
21
Well,
seconds.
then
Okay,
you're
reserve
not
the right to
striking your
object.
words.
I am
You're
not apologizing.
Now let's go. Come on, guys.
Why don't you debate me?
Mr. Chairman, the minority.
pretty self-evident.
You're not.
Yeah, you're
out
not.
of order.
You don't have enough
You're out of order.
intelligence.
Chair recognizes Mr. Perry.
Okay, move to strike
I'd like to
I
strike
move to
those
strike the
words
lady's
as well.
words.
I would like order.
The lady's words again.
That's 2 requests to strike. That's 2 requests to strike.
Oh, they cannot take the words.
There's another motion to strike her words again. Please
All right.
get
Okay.
your members under
Here's the
control.
correct priority. Ms. Green, do you agree to unanimous consent to strike your words?
I repeat again for the second time. Yes, I'll strike
right.
my words,
That-
but I'm not apologizing.
Without objection. Without
Not
objection.
apologizing.
21 seconds.
Mr. Chair, point of order.
Who's
It's me.
Ms. Crockett?
I'm just curious, just to better understand your ruling. If someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, that would not be engaging personalities, correct?
What now?
Hey, did you? That was.
Chairman, I make a motion to strike those words.
I don't think that's a
Hold on.
part
I'm
of the.
trying to find clarification on what qualifies.
Chairman, motion to strike those words.
Look at dude could barely hold himself
We're
together.
not going to do this. Look, you guys earlier literally just.
You just voted to do it. You just voted to do it.
Order.
I'm trying to get clarification. Look at, calm down. Calm down.
No, because this is what
like
y'all
to
do.
get proceeding.
So I'm trying to get
Miss Crockett,
clarification.
you're not
Y'all wanna,
recognized. Miss
I can't hear
Crockett.
you with your
And
yelling.
you don't want
Calm
me to
down.
Be,
Can
no,
you please calm down.
Don't tell me to calm down.
Calm down.
Because y'all talk
calm
noise,
down.
and then
You're
can't
out of
take it.
control.
Because if I
Look, Chairman,
if I
can
come
we
and
send
talk
take a
about
break
her,
for 5
y'all
minutes?
gonna have a problem.
With millions watching, many people benefiting from this program called Indisputable. We just need 1% of the viewers to become a paid member so we can continue to bring this content to you. Now back to the show.
So we have to dissect it. All right, we've got to identify voices. In some cases, for those wondering, it was Republican Representative Anna Paulina Luna who called her colleague Jasmine Crockett, quote, out of control. All right, now every Black woman in the workplace understands that. You throw stones, you act out of order, and then you hide. You throw the stones, you hide, and then tell a Black woman you're out of control. Calm down. You need to calm down. You're scaring everybody. Okay, that's by now you know, right? You know. We all know what it is. All right, so following the incident, Jasmine Crockett would post on X saying, well, a lot, and doubling down, if you will. I have time today, I think some call it. Are they still saying that? So MTG wanted to talk about my appearance in committee. It's against the rules to do. She refused to apologize. The chairman ruled that it was okay. I'm not even sure the chairman knew what day of the week it was. I mean, they just walked all over him. And I asked for clarification about what qualifies as engaging in personalities. I basically wanted to know if I could talk about her appearance as well. Y'all know what she looks like, right?
Jay, you want me to put that
People
up?
in glass houses, this is what happens when mentally deficient people who can't read and follow rules or just don't give a damn somehow end up in Congress. That's on X. It's still up if you want to go look at it yourself. All right, here's Green's post following the incident, okay? Some people are upset about the scene from Oversight Committee last night. Well, I'm upset and disgusted pretty much every day. The Democratic-controlled DOJ, federal government, and Congress in general. The Democrats are the same people who voted to kill unborn babies up until the day of birth. And they would march us all in front of a firing squad if they could. Congress has enslaved the American people in over 34 trillion in debt. That will be over 55 trillion in only 10 years. Marjorie Taylor Greene on X. Okay, so now Senator John Fetterman
Deflection.
steps into the ring.
That's
if you will,
heavy cap.
weighing in on the incident.
Yeah.
I just, They all got a piece of this. What's that thing on Friday night that the wrestlers have? Do you know, Jackson, is it tag team, main event something? Do you know what I'm talking about? Where they all get a piece of it? Yeah, they all jump in. And then sometimes they tap out if someone's tired and the other guy, the partner or woman, jumps in. So here's Fetterman. Yeah, that's how it works. And this is what's going on in Congress. Okay, your tax dollars hard at work. In the past, I've described the U.S. House as the Jerry Springer Show. Today, I'm apologizing to the Jerry Springer Show. Okay. AOC, not to be outdone, would respond to Fetterman's tweet with, I understand you likely would not have stood up for your colleague and seem to be confused about racism and misogyny being a both sides issue, but I stand up to bullies instead of becoming one. And to the women of Pennsylvania, I'd stand up for you too. Enjoy your Friday. All right now. That's like, saying, and take care. All right, have a good one. I'll see you next time. Okay? That meant she's done. She's spoken. I love some AOC. Jackson, I first want to dissect the initial. As I said, this is rooted in white privilege. You throw stones, you make an attack, and then you duck and hide. You double down. And when a woman of color says, not today, you're not fitting to come at me that way. Oh, ma'am. It's, oh my goodness, clutching pearls and the like. Am I wrong about this? And that's a rhetorical question, by the way.
No, I mean, you're definitely not wrong about that in terms of, just kind of the general culture, especially that you would see like in corporate America. And I know that you have a lot of experience with that. And we're still working to change things along those lines. But there's a lot to say about this exchange. For one thing, I mean, you got to love it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like to see, I always love Jasmine Crockett. She's just got that fire in her. You know what I'm saying? And but also too, like, you could definitely critique this and say that they were being a bit ridiculous. But on the other hand, like just go overseas, Britain and their parliament, they get down, they go crazy. So this was nothing compared to that. So, I mean, I guess there's not too much to be hung up on because, like, what are they doing otherwise? Like, they may have this back and forth, but it's not like they passing a whole bunch of laws. I mean, in the House, they pass more things, but oftentimes that's just, a show job because they know ain't nothing gonna go down in the Senate. I think we're in the middle of one of our most unproductive sessions of Congress that we've ever had.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But lastly, Marjorie Taylor Greene, I think that she doesn't really know how to do much of anything else. This is how she got where she is. And so just kind of being provocative is all she's ever going to do. And as long as her district wants her in office, then she's going to be there. Unless they change their hearts and minds about her, then we're going to continue to see this. But she crazy for sure.
Yeah, can you?
She is like, you ever have an infestation of fruit flies?
Yeah, they just there.
Yeah, you had bananas. You went on a trip.
All right. Oh, get that. Okay, so what do you guys think?
I mean, look, man. She was dropping bars at the end of the day. And really, I wish she would have stayed more calm though. That way they can't try to use that angry black woman type of judo they be trying to do. You know what I'm saying? When they like the gaslight, because that Margie Taylor chick, she always be saying some hot shit. She's always disrespectful. She just got a taste of what, she just met her match. That's all it is. But I wish Homegirl would have stayed a little bit more calm. It would have made it hit that much more, that much more harder. If she just stayed calm and just delivered that, and you feel me?
It just sat still up.
Right.
That'd have been a rip too. All right. So let's see where is that. All right.
Peach blonde, bad built butch body.
Hold on a second. Jesus. Hold on 1 second. The doll has vision issues. The doll has vision issues. Truly. It's like
Peach blonde, bad built butch body. Peach blonde, bad built butch body. Peach blonde, bad built butch body.
Silly, you silly for that shit. That
Hey,
shit's so.
Kendrick gave us a soundtrack for the whole summer, man. I'm telling you.
That's the Crip anthem of the year, man.
Oh, yeah, you see my avatar.
The West up, baby.
Oh
West
man,
up.
it's
Come
the
on.
RBS. Just do it. I got my shit ready. I was gonna do it after the show because gotta start out with something funny. It's like that was hilarious. I was watching them those the shorts and reels where motherfuckers are walking in the street singing the song. I'm enjoying the most.
Yeah.
Not a good ass.
I seen cats doing the BBL Drizzy in Japanese and French, country people doing it, rock and roll bands doing it. It's crazy.
I played the original today. I put it on Twitter. The original is funny as hell. My brother turned me on to it. Yeah, shout out my brother turned me on to it. He's like, let me see where he's like, listen to it like this. I was like, all right. And because it got us on this motherfucking you know, remember Rick James and Smokey singing Ebony Eyes.
Mm.
So he was like, I was listening to this for
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh no, brother, oh no.
That turned into a commercial.
I was like,
Commercial recently with that in there.
oh no, this is the one because you got the copyright up, Jesse? Jesse, you got the copyright up?
Yes.
Okay, hold on a sec. Hold on a sec. No, cancel.
The copyright up the whole time.
Hold on a sec. Present. Share screen. This is. We listen to this. I was like, this is funnier than the actual song.
No Diddy.
Hilarious.
No Diddy.
The internet ain't shit, man. I'm telling you. Yeah.
That motherfucker kill right there. I was like,
Come
what
on
are
now. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
I'm thicker than a snicker. I'm thicker than your ninja. Don't act like you don't know me. These jams deserve a trophy. Baby, it ain't no mystery. Got the best BBL in history. This cake will make you show up. I know you see this glow up. That's BBL Drizzy. BBL Drizzy.
Yeah.
I'm going in no Diddy.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember my parents used to play that when we was barbecuing, on the weekends. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, I grew up to that. I grew up to that old BBL.
You probably know that. This is the video I was telling you about earlier, Jay.
I was like, hold on, let me get out the thing. I was like, I thought this shit was hilarious. I was like, he should have never did that. He knew what he was getting into when he shared that with me yesterday. Have you shared it? I'm out the screen, Jesse. I stopped sharing the screen. Oh, okay, cool.
I have a bad connection.
Okay, cool.
But I sent you the.
No, wait. But is it
I don't know if somewhere.
Is that? Oh, okay. All right. That's it. And then I'm gonna jump into the. God damn you, Jesse. He always picks the time like this. This is why it takes me so long to get a show up. I was gonna tell him about this too. I was like, can I talk about this? And I forgot. because my heart started hurting early in the afternoon.
Yeah, I wasn't able to make it to the dollhouse this weekend.
I was able to make it over there, but see it. But I don't want to be over there. I want to be in it's hot like Africa right now.
No, the heat's not on.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure many of you heard about what happened at the House committee meeting when Marjorie Taylor Greene called herself trying to insult Jasmine Crockett, and boy, she roasted her butt right back. And when she got roasted back, she wanted everything struck from the record. Yeah, just like a weak link. So anyway, it was funny. A lot of people are cheering on Jasmine Crockett today. I think Marjorie Taylor Greene does have like a crazy psychotic following too, but they sure are not outnumbering Jasmine's, that's for sure, because you hear more people cheering for Jasmine than you do cheering for Marjorie Taylor Greene. And it is the reality of things. So I don't know how y'all elected this woman. Boy, what a nightmare. And I was watching a couple of the committee meetings. Boy, she don't know nothing. She just sits there and run her mouth, and it's always someone correcting her on what policies are or what a law is, because she really don't know. She's just running her mouth and just saying things off the top of her head. And I have seen too many committee meetings with Marjorie Taylor Greene, and she always either gets put in her place or she needs to be corrected because she got something wrong. I tell you what, Georgia, if this is the best you got to offer, it is really sad. That's all I got to say. So let's get into this story. And you know what? Hats off to Jasmine Crockett for what she did. So Crockett slams Greene as racist following contentious House committee meeting. So, Jasmine Crockett is a Democrat out of Texas. And, Marjorie Taylor Greene actually started the whole thing by criticizing her, and she threw a shot right back at her. And as soon as she did, Marjorie Taylor Greene could not handle it. Isn't that so typical, y'all? Isn't that typical? Yes, it is. So let's get into it. So the panel met, and
like the bottom,
they were supposed to have a meeting. And I tell you what, if that's the way these politicians meet, it is really sad. It looked like a bunch of juveniles in a room fighting. That's what it looked like. And Marjorie Taylor Greene, she is very immature. I don't see how y'all can even work with that woman. She is very immature. So anyway, as the panel met to advance contempt proceedings against Attorney General Merrick Garland over his refusal to turn over audio recordings of President Joe Biden's interview with special counsel Robert Hur, Greene, a Georgia Republican, sparked outrage when she commented on Crockett's appearance. And she just turned around and said, "I think your fake eyelashes are messing up what you're reading." See, this is what we are talking about when we speak on microaggressions, because these things occur every single day across America, and they're unprovoked. Just thought I would throw that out there.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely much.
Speaking to reporters on Friday about the incident, Crockett said, "That's all it is. It's racism." She decided she was going to be that person out loud and out front on yesterday. She said, "The difference is I just wasn't going to take it lying down." She is racist. I mean, I don't have any questions about that, she added. When CNN, Abby Phillips was interviewing her Friday night, why
choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can it keep me warm when I'm cold?
Wait, no, I'm always hot. He believed Greene's comments were racist. Crockett said the Georgia Republican was just basically repeating the nonsense that MAGA is constantly putting out there. Now, my people that want to vote for Donald Trump, you want to vote side by side with Marjorie Taylor Greene for Donald Trump? I'm just asking, because those are the type of people you're going to be voting along with and in agreements with Donald Trump should be president. You're going to be the Marjorie Taylor Greenes among that group. So anyway, I've received so many amazing compliments from MAGA America throughout my time in Congress, Crockett said sarcastically on Newsnight. A lot of times when I go to, go viral, instead of them trying to address the things that I laid out in a very factual way, what I would try to do is say, oh, look at her hair. Oh, look at her nails. Look at her lashes. And they, so they're not worried about the issue. They're worried about her appearance, and they call it ghetto. I tell you what, ghetto is looking a hell of a lot better than Marjorie Taylor Greene. And man, I tell you what, Jasmine Crockett was not talking any lies when it comes down to the shape of Marjorie Taylor Greene. That woman is shaped like a dude. She is, if you look at her hips and everything, she is shaped like a dude for real. Now I see why she said, that butch body comment. She really do have that for real.
She's funny, Bill.
And she said, I'm not the only woman in Congress that wears lashes. There are women on her side of the aisle that wear lashes as well, and hair extensions too. But she's never like that, those women who actually, I believe, started the whole trend of hair extensions and weaves and everything. Nobody ever says anything about them wearing it. Nobody says a thing. And then I'll hear people, well, they wear their hair texture. That's BS. Okay, because it seems like every single October, they seem to put hair on their head that's not their texture and go in blackface. So don't try to tell me y'all wear your hair texture when I have seen many times that you put different textures on too, especially to mock us. So you can miss me with that. So she says, to CNN, Greene's office said the only member that brought up any reference to color was Congresswoman Crockett. Actually, she wasn't. Marjorie Taylor Greene made the first dig. And, everybody on this planet, contrary to what many of you believe, everybody on this earth have the right to defend themselves. I know y'all got this unwritten rule that whenever something happens to one of us over on this side, we shouldn't do or say nothing. And what I got to say about that, y'all can go kick rocks. Okay, that's what you can do. So anyway, back to this. On social media Friday, Greene doubled down on her comments and slammed criticism from within her party about her behavior. Yeah, because they said a lot of Republicans don't like the conduct of this woman. But you know what? Somebody had to put her there in Congress. And no, she's not good representation at all. She's not even close to being good. So AOC isn't intelligent. Crockett has fake lashes. These aren't attacks on personalities. All right. And she wrote, these are just facts. she wrote on X. Well, there's a lot of people that don't think Marjorie Taylor Greene is intelligent. There's a lot of people that don't think she's attractive either. I've seen many people write comments about her appearance as well. She's not a.
I'm just taking my cat out for a sit.
I feel like
she's thinking it's Mental Health Awareness Month. It's a good time.
Pretty woman at all. So anyway, the rules of the House dictate members can't engage in personalities, meaning they are not allowed to make offensive comments about or towards another member. But if you notice, when Jasmine Crockett said what she said to Marjorie Taylor Greene, who was that man that was sitting directly, a white man sitting directly behind her? He was cracking up. You got to go back and look at the video.
Yeah,
he was cracking
yeah,
up.
We did.
So there were people that thought it was funny when she got that dig thrown back at her.
Mm-hmm.
So if it occurs, the member who was insulted can ask for the words to be stricken from the record. And if that happens, the offending member is not allowed to speak for the remainder of the proceedings. During the markup, there was a failed vote to strike Greene's comments from the record, and she was allowed to continue her remarks. At the markup, Greene started to ask Democrats on the committee if any of them employed the daughter of Judge Juan Merchan, who was overseeing the criminal trial of New York former President Donald Trump. As Republicans have sought to curry favor with Trump, they have gone to Merchan's daughter, who has ties to the Democrats, as they seek to undermine the case. Crockett, a Democrat from Texas, asked Greene, "Do you know what we're here for?" Greene shot back, "I think you know what we're here for. I think your fake lashes are messing up what you're reading." And that's when AOC immediately jumped in and got on Greene's and demanded, she jumped on Greene and demanded her words be taken down. "It's absolutely unacceptable. How dare you attack the physical appearance of another person," the New York Democrat said. After a series of votes in response to Greene's explosive rhetoric, Crockett made a dig directly at her. She says, "I'm just curious, just to better understand your ruling, if someone on the committee then starts talking about someone's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?" Crockett said. Y'all, go pull up a full body shot of Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's yeah, it don't look good. She's toe up from the flow up, for real. So anyway, Greene shot back, "I don't think you know what you're here for." and then actually, Greene turned around and demanded that Jasmine Crockett words be stricken. Crockett said on Friday that Greene is unserious and does not respect the process. No, she literally does, because I've seen her in a couple of committee meetings. She literally sits there and believes she can just do whatever she wants, say whatever she wants. And I've seen a couple of them shut her down when she was in the middle of talking and she was really wrong and didn't even know what she was talking about. That's embarrassing for your representative that have to be corrected the amount of times that she's got to be corrected. It tells you right there, she's sitting there and literally not trying to learn a thing. She's not trying to learn. So anyway, she's lacking any ability to actually engage in actual discourse. She doesn't know her job. So this is what Crockett says. She doesn't know the issues that we're dealing with and when we're in committee. So instead, she does what most MAGA does, which is seek to insult and personal attacks. She needs to get a staff that can get her up to speed so that she can actually talk about something of substance and actually represent her district, Crockett said.
Step into Wix Studio, the web platform for agencies and enterprises.
Crockett also said that she is a grown woman and wasn't going to take it lying down. One thing I'm not going to do is have someone disrespect me as a duly elected official myself. And then I'm just going to say, well, that's okay, and rub it off. No, we're going to do that. She added, so if they can't follow the rules, I will have to fight for myself.
Hey, bitch, we'll go outside and bang this out.
So I understand where she's coming from. You know, it's almost like they try to let it.
Saying she with the smoke, she with the
seem
business.
like, and they have done it. They try to make it seem like Marjorie Taylor Greene can sit there and do no wrong.
Go nowhere.
And I'm glad she fired back at her, because I think that's going to inspire other people to shut her down when she's sitting there saying stupid stuff all the time. And look, I'm a member of the public. And when I hear that woman talk, it is very obvious that she's not trying to learn how to do her job. She's not trying to learn anything. She is just sitting there being as wrong as 2 left feet all the time. So y'all, tell me what you think about this video. And hey, shout out to Jasmine Crockett for standing up to yourself, for yourself, and putting her in her place. And that comeback was funny.
I don't even know if he's a Democrat. The Tennessee Justin's over there, the one with the long hair.
Justin. Oh
yeah,
my God.
White dude's racist to his face. That shit was hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Racist. I was like, yeah, I was like, performative or not, just is going down. They are not playing. I was like, this is random black folk. They don't give no fuck saying they're just talking shit.
Did he say you're racist and you're gonna do this, this, and this, and this for black people, or did he just keep saying you're racist?
I just called him a racist because he was I don't remember. I was trying to look for it while the thing was on, and I can't remember what his name is. Oh, it's Jones, Justin Jones. Yeah.
Okay, this was, this the whole body shot of of the 5 B words.
Did you put in the
Lisa had big butch body. I must
put in
send
the
it to you.
Oh my God. Stop it. She walks like a man too. It's horrible. What the fuck is this? Is it play or no? It doesn't. It is play.
No, it's just a picture.
Oh my God. Jesus. It just walks like a man. I didn't know any better. I thought that was a man.
Damn.
She's standing like a man, dude. Like, that's just too much. It's just, I don't even know what to say. There's no femininity at all. Somebody's tearing that up somewhere, though. Someone is tearing that up.
Oh
somewhere.
my God! Yeah, right.
Yeah, she definitely should be talking about nobody's eyelashes and shit, man.
Not with a frame. That. Oh my God!
That was gross. I thought that was a man. I was like walking down there, like, it looks like a man. Like a very, very strong man. Strong man.
That's a handsome woman right there.
I was like, this is strong ass walk right there.
That's the one that tried to use Dr.
He got some strong cheekbones.
That's a strong calf look.
Look like a lumberjack. I thought that was a lumberjack. Oh, shit.
I'm a fucker definitely is built for manhood.
Oh my God! She belonged with Simone Mammy Sanders.
Mm.
They built.
It's fucking terrible, dude. Don't make girls like they used to.
They built like no.
even if you was built a certain way, you can still feel the femininity coming out of somewhere, but they don't make girls like they used to anymore. I don't feel nothing feminine about none of that. That was gross. I was like, ew. Is that it, Jesse? Because did you close your show up?
Yeah, that was it.
All right, cool. Well, I'm gonna do the RVA. I'm gonna do some funnies on the RVA like immediately after this show closes. So, Twin, I suggest you model your agenda. Yep, or stay on the revolutionary agenda. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Immediately. So I'm gonna leave right now and go to MG. I'm not MG. Jay Dizzle, you know your revolutionary agenda. See you over there. You're up there. And Jesse, you want to stop by for like 5 minutes? You can go ahead. I'm gonna go now though. Stay black.
Peace, sis.
Stay dangerous. Peace.
Yes.
Peace. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning into this episode of the Frontline Black News, Season 4, Episode 7, Part 1 of the Frontline Black News. Be back tomorrow with Part 2 for Malcolm X Day of the Frontline Black News. And make sure y'all check out the RBA like right after this Revolutionary Agenda on YouTube. And Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced on Tuesday. You know, we should be talking about the 99 solo return of Malcolm X. So there. Thanks for joining us, Jay Dizzle. Make sure y'all like and subscribe to Jay Dizzle's channel as well. Liberated Mind. Liberated.
Appreciate you.
Media.
Appreciate you having me, bro.
Oh yeah, no doubt. You're always welcome here. B1 salute. Have a good night. All right, y'all. So, peace, love, and Black empowerment from the Mile High Income and the migrant for the city. Go Nuggets. Game 7 is later on today. So we will see y'all later on, or I guess in a couple minutes for the RBA. In the Frontline Black News in a couple hours, about 12 hours for the Frontline Black News. So we'll see y'all shortly here on the RBA. Peace, love, light, reparations, and separations, and Black empowerment. Thank you for everybody that tapped in. Twin, you're always welcome here. Our hype man, the MD 2020, you're always welcome as well. And Shabaka should hopefully be joining us tomorrow for part 2. He's on the road, so yeah, safe travels to Shabaki. And anybody that's listening to the playback, so peace, y'all. From the mile high income and illegal migrant flooded city. Chain Krumah out. And if you're in Denver, make sure y'all support the campaign. Peace. And Black Power. Always.